What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 292. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I am joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
And Brian Monjoma.
What up, people? What up?
All right, man, we got the skeleton crew today. Chris is out. He's been fucked up by zombies or something, you know. Adam, I think he's making another arcade cabinet. And Brett, he's probably fighting vampires or something, you know.
More than likely.
That's how I was thinking. But in about 15 minutes, we will be joined by Riku-san One, the only one. So that should be pretty fun, you know. See what he has to say about these questions. But before we start, because I still do need to get a little bit ready here. I always kind of forget about the Chiron shit. But I do want to tell you guys that we have a contest, people. It's going to start tomorrow or today, whenever you're listening. Ghost of Tsushima giveaway courtesy of Glorious War, who's actually sponsoring this one. He gave us some money. He's like, hey, listen, I love the Throwdown. I love the fans. I want to give something back to the community. So because of him, we're going to give you guys away a copy of Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to have a video up on our Twitter as usual, linked into our pin tweet. And we're going to ask you a simple question. What that question is, we'll find out together, because I don't even know the question, but it'll be simple question. And all you have to do is just follow us on Twitch and Twitter, and you'll be good to go. But watch the video. I'll drop it tomorrow, and you get all the instructions, and we'll give you a free copy of the game. It'll be cool.
Yo, man, I already got that thing preloaded on my PS4.
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I've been hearing some good things, man. Some of the people that I know, other journalists that have played the game on the and I can tell you some stuff because some things have been up. They like the game, I'll just leave it at that. They like the game.
When is so if we're trying to kill time, when is the review embargo up for that?
Tuesday at 10 a.m. I believe.
Tuesday, damn. So I wonder now, man. This game isn't. I mean, it's a huge AAA game.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those. It's not The Last of Us. Because I was just thinking about everything, all the shit show that's gonna happen. But I don't think this game's gonna garner much of that.
I mean, there probably will be, not to the extent of The Last of Us 2, obviously, but every game gets something these days. It's always some shit. Adam. Yep, that's what I figured. Oh man.
By the way, I downloaded the game. So it's on my PS4. It's only 40 gigs.
Wow. Holy shit. Like a budget title.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Is this the order?
Yeah. Yeah, usually the 40 gigs is a patch,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they designed it well.
Oh, yeah, right. Imagine that shit. A game that's actually designed well these days. That'd be crazy, All right, so yeah, we got that going on. And before we start, I want to plug a little something. So Carlos and I actually played through the entirety of Halo 2. So for Carlos, I think you played it the last time you played it was when you were like a teenager, right?
Yeah, it was in 2004.
Yeah, when it originally dropped.
Yeah, when it first came out. I never replayed the game actually. I think. Oh no, maybe I did to Legendary. I think. But yeah, that must have been, what is that? 2004. So what is that? Almost 16 years.
Fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so and for me, it was my first time playing a game, and it was fucking awesome because I played Halo 1 for the first time, really played it, because I did, play it back in the day a little bit. By the way, our boy Evil Chris, right? You know how he had me play Halo 1? That game's version of Insanity Mode. Like, what the fuck? Like, the controls are all weird and shit. Because, by the way, that was still the time when I was like, like 2 analog sticks to move a character. What the fuck is this shit? And then he was like, oh, help me play this game, Halo. It's cool. And then he fucking murdered and shit. Ironically enough, Carlos was in that bridge part too, or the part that led up to the bridge. I'm like, oh, fuck. But Halo 2 was fucking dope. I remember Evil Chris telling me, like, that he wished I had played Halo before Mass Effect because Halo is lesser than Mass Effect. I understand where he's coming from to an extent, but Halo is still really fucking cool, even to a newbie like me. And I'm like, it's just pure crazy sci-fi. I love that shit, So I was all over it, But obviously, it wasn't like ultra surprise for me because I did know the ending, because I did see Evil Chris play the ending. So I remember that part with that giant robot and shit, fighting the fucking gorilla. Like, I remember all that shit,
Yeah. Shit,
But
we got to the very end and you finished the sentence.
yeah,
At
I
the very
did.
end, I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
finished the
shit.
fight. Yeah, I remembered all that shit. The only thing that surprised me because I remember, but I think it was because he was playing on Insanity. It took forever to beat that fucking gorilla. When I beat the gorilla, I was like, yo, I think I just beat this guy. Like he just said, like I'm just, and then he just went. I'm like, wait, what? And then
Yeah, this was on normal
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I know some dudes were asking, like, yo, were you gonna play it on Insanity? No. Fuck that, we're playing that shit on normal. But don't worry, we didn't play with accessibility settings turned on. We don't do that on Throwdown, man.
I'm not gonna do that. By the way,
Yeah,
we talked about earlier about Halo 3. Halo 3 is gonna come out on PC Game Pass this Tuesday. Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 5.
Excuse me?
All of those games have 4-player co-op online. So there is a possibility that we might run through all of these before Infinite comes out. And Tony, like before the show started, Tony went on to get water or something, and I talked to Brian. There could be a possibility if we play it on the PC next week.
Oh shit!
Before Ghost of Tsushima comes out, there's a possibility that we might be able to get Brian on the fold.
Well, that'd be dope. Yeah, I know. Yeah, from here on out, if we play more Halo games, there's gonna be 4 of us. So a PC version, since I have Game Pass now, I'll download it for that. Get Brian in on that shit.
Yeah.
Be crazy, man. All right. And also, man, you have anything you want to plug? Besides your blue lighting.
Well, a little something called Excellence 8 just recently came out last week.
Oh shit!
So yeah, we're gonna keep running through, and so it just came out, and we're gonna have some special things coming up pretty soon as far as the book. So stay tuned for that.
Good stuff. Also,
by the way, Matt,
go ahead.
Brooklyn Bear says Emilio has a Shenmue 3 shirt on,
yes,
and now I'm sad. I was waiting for decades.
Oh shit!
Yes, I do. I have what's it say? It says "We save Shenmue." That's a shirt that you got as a backer. So yeah, Shenmue was saved because of me.
Yeah, you saved that game. I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Even though I reviewed the fucking shit.
What thoughts you need to keep? Just read the review.
Yeah, read the. Actually, no, you can't read the review because Geek.com doesn't exist anymore. Oh. Womp womp. Well, if it ever comes to PC, I'll review it again.
Well, it is on PC, isn't it?
Well, I hope it is, because I don't want to review it again. I don't want to review it again.
It's coming back, man. Coming back, yo.
By the way, plug for myself. My review of Death Stranding for the PC will be up tomorrow or today at 7 a.m. Eastern. So get ready for that. It's way longer than my original review of the game, Crazy stuff, man. Because my original review of the game was obviously still good, but I don't think I beat the game when I originally reviewed it. This time, obviously, I did. And, I think I put like 20 hours into it. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good, But this time, it's more different because I had to, obviously, I'm reviewing the PC version, had to talk about the graphics, Mm-hmm. I leaned more into that in this review than anything. For the original review, I really leaned more into the story aspect and all that, Mm-hmm. By the way, fun tip for you aspiring video game writers. This is not the case for every game. And by the way, this is also something I learned back when I was blogging about games. 5 hours is all you really need. That's all you really. After that, the game just kind of go. Most games just go on a loop, the same exact loop over and over and over again. Doesn't work for every game. Obviously, if it's a big story-based game, you got to finish that shit.
Mass Effect never reached that loop.
No, not really. Although you can get away with it to an extent, but also you don't need to play Tetris for 5 hours either.
Yeah, that's one extreme. But
yeah, I'm going through the extremes here, But there's shit in the middle. But generally speaking, about 5 hours is all you really need.
You need to finish Mass Effect 3 so you can complain about the endings.
Man, but like I always said, the best examples I have is Dante's Inferno and Dragon Age 2. Thank God Brez in here. I can say the name right. Dante's Inferno, if you were to play the first, let's just say 10 hours. No, that game is 10 hours. Play the first third of the game, you're like, this game's fucking amazing. This is great. It's like God of War. This is fucking awesome. You play the rest of the game, you're like, oh, this is stupid. It's just the same bullshit, Dragon Age 2, you play. You're fucked up about that. When you play 80% of it, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Then the ending happens and it saves the whole thing. You know, it's crazy, man. Then you have games like Last of Us, where the story, Last of Us 2, where the story is not that good, but the gameplay magnifique. Anyway, man, let's get into it.
I'm still watching. Those those Last of Us 2 videos of the gameplay.
Yeah, man.
Like, why didn't I think about that? It's like a new thing that someone did. Like, it's like crazy, man.
The thing is, if you go into it thinking this is a Naughty Dog game, you're gonna do that shit just naturally, you know.
Especially if you play the Uncharted game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Naughty Dog. So like, I eventually did get to a point where I was playing like those guys in the videos. Before I saw the videos, I'm like, fuck, let me jump off this shit and see what happens. Oh shit, I could crack that motherfucker's head open. You know, stab him. You know, shoot him in the head. Do all this crazy shit. You know, Naughty Dog, man, game is fantastic. Gameplay wise, at least. Story wise, there, you know, I could take it or leave it. You know. Anyway, we got questions for you guys, and obviously we're fluffing up shit because not only there's only 4 of us here, but not a lot of questions this week, which is kind of surprising. No games dropped, you know, but you know, we do. And Riku, actually, you know, if I stall for 2 more minutes, maybe Riku will show up. You know, but this is Riku. You know, he's gonna be late anyway. You know. Anyway, I'm gonna answer the first question. Fuck this shit. All right, what are your thoughts on Ubisoft Forward 2020? That's from Eurocar 9. Sexy fella, man. Oh man. By the way, I'll be honest with you, man. I was working on a passion project today. Wink, wink. Too. We were talking about before, and I totally forgot about the shit until the end. You know, it's like, oh shit, this thing's on. I turn it on. There's Far Cry. You know.
The funny thing about that question is because I knew you were telling us about how you were doing something else while the thing was going on, and you barely was like, oh shit. But I kind of wrote it initially because I knew Chris and Adam watched it.
Oh, yeah, and they're not here. Ain't that about it, bitch? You know, but let's pull up a synopsis real quick. Who can at least tell you guys what they did talk about. Who did anybody here see this shit? Brian, I'm looking at you.
I watched part of it. I don't know about Brian.
Yeah, Brian, are you a big Ubisoft fan, man?
I watched parts of it. I was in and out of it. It's again, I only seen like the last half of it, really, because okay. The thing with me is that they have said that if you watch like certain parts of the show, then you get like Watch Dogs 2 for free. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, free game. You can't be mad at that. So what turns out is that like half an hour before the show starts, the whole Uplay thing just shuts down.
Uh-oh.
Like no one can sign in or anything. Like Twitter is just full of people saying, "Hey, I can't sign in. I can't get my free games." Even during the stream, they like pop up a thing on the side saying, "Hey, we understand that people are having trouble like signing in, so just bear with us and we'll fix it out." And like half an hour later, they're like, "Yeah, okay, don't worry about it, guys. You'll get the free stuff anyway in due time. Just watch the show." So yeah, the whole thing just went to shit because Ubisoft. So after that, I'm like, okay, cool, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I don't see the point of watching this. But I did catch some of the parts, mostly the Watch Dogs and the Far Cry trailer, and that's it.
What do you think of those?
Watch Dogs seemed cool. I spent so much time just saying to myself, like, okay, that's in the wrong place. That's in the wrong place. That's way too close to that thing. Like, I have walked from there to there. Like, it's not that short. I'll tell you that much. So yeah. Apart from that, it's really good. The stuff that they showed where they were infiltrating the Tower of London. Tower of London actually looks like that. I've actually walked on those streets. Fun fact: those of you that seen Spider-Man: Far From Home. The part where the jet blows up is near one of the places that they show in that gameplay demo. It looks cool. Having them have English accents is really odd. It's kind of like it's not. There's something just not right with it. It all seems a bit too much. But
Brian,
yeah, it seems good. What's up?
That's something that I've been, I've been complaining about that for a while, man, and I'm glad someone else that actually has one of those accents and is used to one of those accents is, because I think I think it was the E3 trailer when I was talking about this. It's like, this doesn't sound right. They sound like fake British people. Like they sound like maybe like an American trying to do a British accent.
It definitely does sound good, but it just seems like it's a bit too much. It's like okay, it is believable, but then there's like okay, that seems like you're trying it on. Like you're trying to have an accent on, not just like speaking normally. So
it's like Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we going to do? Like that kid.
Yeah. But yeah, the gameplay seemed cool. I like how they have lots of cool ideas and how there's different characters and they'll have kind of like weird and wonderful interactions. That seems pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Again, it seems like this is the Watch Dogs that they are actually trying something different. So that's good.
Was the Kilogram there?
Yes, she was there.
Yeah, they showed her.
Adam, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? What's up?
What a day!
It's what happens when you get kids, and then they're getting bigger, and then they're arguing and fighting, and then they don't want to eat, and then they don't want to clean up after dinner, and then the wife has to take them in and give them a talking to. So who's left cleaning up everything? Me.
You
Putting all the plates. Yes.
Yeah, we showed up at the right. Actually, we literally just started. We're talking about the Ubisoft thing.
Oh yeah, that Ubisoft thing.
Yeah. So yeah. But Brian, give your thoughts on what was it? Far Cry, and then Adam could jump in.
Far Cry. I seen like the last maybe like 20 seconds off the trailer, so I actually didn't get to watch it all. But it seems like Far Cry to me. It has the Far Cry vibe to it, where it's like, hey, evil dictator guy is kind of an asshole, but he's kind of right at the same time. So I was like, okay, I see. It's Far Cry. So yeah, it seems cool. It just seems weird that we're already in Far Cry 6 as it is. It's like, wow, where did 4 and 5 go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember 4 was a cross-gen game too. Just kind of crazy.
Then they have that spin-off one. The one
they did New Dawn or whatever.
New Dawn.
Yeah, I played that.
That was the most recent one.
That was most recent. I loved Far Cry Primal, man. That shit was awesome. That and Blood Dragon were the shit.
Blood Dragon was fun. I like
Blood Dragon. That game was like tailor made for us. The old school action 80s action.
Yeah, the roll of die and stuff. Yeah, and then the whole interface. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yo, but Brian makes a good point.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Riku-san won the only one. What's going on, man?
What up?
What's up?
Yeah, we're just talking about that Ubisofts,
Ew, Ubisoft.
Yeah, they had their conference today, baby.
Yo, I ain't Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
I'm probably the biggest Ubisoft hater you'll find.
Damn.
You and Adam ain't getting along then.
Oh yeah, man.
Adam loves him some Ubisofts.
Adam, we gonna have to square up, man. I'm sorry, man. Ubisoft has not been treating your boy well for the past 2 generations.
Here we go. Ring the bell. Bing, 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 bing. All right. What are you round one? Here we go. So, what is it that they let you down in? What game?
Let's start off with their fucking mascot. Where's my fucking Rayman?
I don't know.
That's their fucking mascot, man. You say you never? Were you about to say you've never heard of Rayman?
No. I have, but I never really got into it. It's all about shooting with me. That's it. I only play that shooting game. Killing, murder, platformers.
You say killing and murder, but where's
the dude? Has no neck. The dude has no neck, and he's not really put together, and it throws me off. It's like bouncing around and shit.
Where's Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia, that was announced. Well, the guy that worked on that is working on.
We're not talking about.
But Prince of Persia, that's back in the PC days. No,
wait, say that.
In the PC days.
Yeah,
PC days. That's just.
War Within and Two Thrones debuted on the PlayStation 2.
No. Those days are over, man. Party over.
Those days are over. You hear this?
They moved on. They told us they moved on. Every game is an open world game.
The freaking team that creates Assassin's Creed is the team that has been working on the Great Prince of Persia. All they got to do is take a break from Assassin's Creed because it ain't even fucking Assassins anymore, and let's make a Prince of Persia for once.
He pretty much is Prince of Persia. Think about it, with the stealth, the jumping, the timing.
No, I want my time manipulation. All right, I want to fucking jump off a cliff and then reverse time, man. That's the bread and butter of Prince of Persia.
Remember Sands of Time? That was all right. I played that.
Sands of Time. What about Warrior Within the Two Thrones? Those are the best ones.
That's a make believe game. Listen,
Oh my
you know what?
God.
Wow.
Everything
You guys
was
hear
it. Everything. Assassin's
on,
Creed.
man.
They took what you liked about Prince of Persia, and they're like, you know what? Let's put in a big world.
Yeah, but they don't have the Riku wants the mythological shit. Though.
I know he wants all that stuff. So
no, I'm with Riku on both of them. Like actually, and I'm gonna throw in another one, Riku. I know you don't care about this, but I care about it. Where's my motherfucking Splinter Cell, man?
Oh, you saw they showed your boy Sam Fisher.
That was such a troll.
In that weird shit game.
That was such a troll. That was such a troll. Hyper Light or whatever.
In a mobile game.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, I know, Brian. That was such a slap in the face. But so like, I'm with you, Riku, for the most part. Like, where's my motherfucking Rayman? Right? You guys had Origins of Legends, fantastic. Then you guys stopped. Prince of Persia. We haven't had Prince of Persia since 2008. You know, I was in the big.
We had that freaking Forgotten Sands.
Forgotten Sands. You know.
You forgot it.
Yeah, we did forget about it. You know, but yeah. By the way, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, fantastic. Love that fucking game. You know.
Sands of Time.
We got all these fucking remakes. How about we get a remake of that?
You know, Warrior Within. I liked it, but I also didn't like it. You know, for obvious reasons. I don't like the darker tone they went with. It wasn't as fun as the first one. You know.
I thought it was the opposite. I have way more fun with Warrior Within, more combos. I was fucking with the edgy, darker tone, that big freaking shadow dude chasing you every 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah, the Haka. I mean, that was cool, but I don't know. To me, I was like, there was too much Godsmack going on too. You know, it's like, it's like, oh, here we go with to me, it kind of.
And I was just like, yes, the edge injected into my veins.
I haven't heard that song in decades.
Oh my god!
Standalone.
That was my fucking favorite part of that game. But no,
wasn't that also in the movie? Wasn't that also in the?
It was in the Scorpion King movie.
Yeah,
that too.
But you know, again, you know, Sands of Time is still my favorite. But that whole trilogy was fucking badass, man.
Oh yeah, great.
You know,
but,
anyway.
What specific questions would you like me to?
No, we just. Did you see the Ubisoft thing, man?
Yes.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Disappointed. Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. When I saw Assassin's Creed, they call it Valhalla, right?
Yeah, Valhalla, yeah.
As a game, and Norse the Norse setting and whatnot, it looks like a really good game. I'm actually interested in it, but you know the whole Assassin's Creed thing. I've never been a fan of Assassin's Creed, probably never will. That's still turning me the wrong way. But honestly, no, the game actually looks pretty fucking good. Like I like all of the stuff they showed, and apparently, you can dual wield literally everything in the game. That's cool. But the other stuff they showed, Hyperscape and
I did that in Halo 2.
Oh yeah.
You did that in a lot of games.
Yeah. No, I guess like Adam said, this conference just wasn't for me. Like they don't care about my kind anymore.
It's all right. It wasn't for me either.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't want me.
I thought you'd be slurping this conference.
You be slurping.
I do like. I like me some Ubisoft games. I really do. But nothing here wowed me. That Valhalla just doesn't look right. It just looks real boring. Very bland.
I've never been more intrigued in an Assassin's Creed game since I saw it.
It's because I get what they're going for. We like Vikings. I played a bunch of Viking games, but usually they do the twist of trying to get the Vikings to go against other factions and stuff. Try to steer away from the facts because the facts aren't pretty for Vikings. It's not. And the whole Assassin's Creed, the series, they've always tried to get more on the historical side. Hey, this is how things were. We try to sprinkle a little facts in and this and that. How do you do that right off the bat? And I brought it up when we had a chat. It's like, oh yeah, you're the Vikings, and then your land it's all rocky, doesn't have all the minerals and conditions you need. So then you go off to England, and then you go and you invade. It's like, okay, but then he says, oh yeah, and then as you fight your enemies, you're the fucking enemy. They're not the enemies. We are the invaders. We're the ones looting. We're the ones enslaving. We're the ones killing, doing all this shit to take their land. It's like they could have done a twist on the story so that way it doesn't have to go down that road, because you know what? There are going to be a lot of kids that don't know the facts. And then they're going to play this and think, oh, well, I guess this is how shit was. Or maybe they will look it up and be like, hey, this is not how it went down. What is going on here? So,
question, Adam. Yeah. Are you interested in Ghost of Tsushima?
No.
Really? Something tells me if that was let's say, for instance, that game was called Assassin's Creed, and it was their, Eastern take on it. Something tells me you would be down.
Nah, only because it looked too much like Red Dead. Once they started talking about all the long treks and finding things and the flowers and all that. When we first saw that, I was like, I'm out. If I want to do all that, I could do that in Red Dead, and that's just too much for me.
Even if it's a side thing, you don't want to fuck with the entire game.
I saw the gameplay. The gameplay doesn't. The whole idea of splitting off and doing the Dark Ninja work and then going back to the other one, it just doesn't click with me. It's beautiful. It looks great.
Stuff is basically Assassin's Creed.
It's just, I don't know. And then I wouldn't have liked it. I
think it's in an alternate dimension where this was made by Ubisoft and it was called Assassin's Creed Ubisoft.
If it was an ultimate,
but Adam's never really been that big of an Assassin's Creed guy, unless I'm wrong about that.
I played them all. I mean, my favorite is Black Flag, and that's what I got the vibes at first with Valhalla because of the ships, and it was like, oh, we're going to explore, and that's what they did. They got in their boats and they went and they started, pirating and doing a shit and landing on them. But besides it, oh shit,
Adam, what if they make an Assassin's Creed where the assassin is a skater?
All right, somebody cancel him.
Yo, man,
mute him. All right, so no,
fuck you guys.
But I play them, I enjoy them, but it just didn't wow me. Odyssey didn't wow me when I saw that. Remember, I was late to the game with Odyssey. I was just like, no. I waited for a sale. I just can't. I can't do it. Origin.
Adam, you're a weird boy.
Yeah, I played the Origin. Origin, I jumped in because it was such a big break from the last one, Syndicate, and I enjoyed Syndicate. It just dragged on too long. And then,
Syndicate was a thing.
And then they had the Sherlock Holmes DLC and stuff, and that was kind of cool. So I'm like, okay, it's been a while. Let's get into Origin. We're going to Egypt. This is going to be awesome. Then I'm playing it. I'm like, this is more the same. We got the bird now. I don't want to deal with the bird. And I was hunting, and then I had to do a lot of farming. They were like, oh, you can't go to this area. Why? You're level 8. You got to be level 13. I was like, well, can't I just wing it? I mastered down the parry system. No, you can't. I was like, this is bullshit. So I stopped playing altogether with that. And so when I see this, I get excited because I like the mythos and I like how they put everything together. But then when they show the gameplay, everything looks bland, and it's not their fault. That time period didn't have much when it comes to architectural design. They didn't have it. It looks very open fields and maybe a few castles here and there and a bunch of shanty towns and stuff. That was it. So I don't know how they're gonna really bring anything to light on it. And I guess they were trying to do with the combat. They added all these new combats and those weird kills. That's always been a thing in Assassin's Creed. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And like you said, with the dual wielding, all right, whatever. I don't know if that's a selling point for me. Damn, you could dual wield now? I'm all in. No, it wasn't much. And for the rest of the show, we got those mobile games. I'm not a mobile guy. I don't know who is. Whoever is might be excited. So maybe that worked for them. Syndicate was the only one that really stood out to me, because that was kind of cool that they actually showed some more gameplay with how that whole thing was going to work. We didn't see any kids, so I don't think they're going to have kids doing like suicidal missions and stuff, because that's one of the things I thought of.
Syndicate?
Not Syndicate. Legion.
Oh, okay. The Watch Dogs Legion. Yeah,
the Watch Dogs Legion. That's right. Because remember, that was one of the questions we had. It's like, yeah, they said everybody in the world, so there's got to be kids. There's always kids in the world.
Not in the video game.
Kids.
Not
in the video game.
Video games don't have children, man.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them do. I don't do.
No, not a lot of the games I played. That's why when I was playing the last one, I was like, oh shit, is that a kid? Most of them GTA don't got kids.
But Division has a bunch of kids.
No, well, the little kids GTA don't.
Handball.
Yeah.
So
I guess I play the more violent ones. Red Dead 2 had some kids, I guess.
Yeah, Red Dead. A lot of games they have kids, but they don't really play a part in the gameplay. They're just part of the world.
Yeah.
They're just there. Besides Call of Duty, where the kid and the mom both got blown up by a terrorist. So the father was filming a camera of his kids and they blew up. But that was the only one that really stood out. It's like, oh, this looks fine. And now it's it. Nothing else really got me. So
they showed that that one fucking battle royale game. It's like,
oh yeah, we got a question about that.
There was two of those. There was two of those.
Let me see. What the fuck? Hyperscape.
That one threw me off because at first the way they described it, it was like what I mentioned to you guys with like Ready Player One. It's like you go into this world because the outside world sucks. So then you go into the world, but then you notice people from the real world were missing. So then there's some people that go into that world to try to find answers. So it's not so much just a battle royale, but it sounds like there's an actual story and that you're doing other gameplay elements outside of the battle royale, but you have to do the battle royale to go and discover more of the story. I don't know, but they put a weird twist on it. We'll probably have to wait for more information, but I thought that was later till 21, right? That's not a...
No. Oh, no. Far Cry is early 2020.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Far Cry actually comes out 2 days after my birthday, which is kind of dope.
Oh, dude, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Let's go.
You just had a birthday. What did you got? 2 birthdays from?
Yeah, I got 7 of them, man. You know.
Oh, man.
My stepfather has 2 of them because he has 2 different birth certificates. They fucked
Interesting.
up. So, yeah. Yeah, he's from
I was just say real quick because I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I did see the whole trailer for Far Cry 6. Here's the thing: I know the Far Cry games, right? The main ones, but I've never actually played them. I always play the offshoot games, but this one I think I'm gonna play because I know it's a CG trailer and all that, but it looked really fucking cool. I like the whole. They
always look cool.
Yeah.
Though.
No, the last one looked kind of 5 looked corny. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like with the cult leader.
Yeah, the trailer looks stupid.
That was awesome because that's the only one that let you do co-op with a friend, but they screwed up because let's say if you and I play, if you jump in my game and we get in like 3 or 4 hours, and if you try to play
you
solo,
told me about that.
Yeah, and they never fixed it. They said, oh yeah, we'll fix that. They never fixed it.
Yeah, even with New Dawn, they didn't fix that. I don't think.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit because you can do that in the Division. You can do that in Wildlands. I don't get it.
But yeah, no, I like that a lot. Like, I want to go into like one of our countries and fuck shit up. I don't know if they're gonna have any war elephants in fucking El Salvador or whatever the fuck they're gonna call that country. But I like the whole feel of it with the girl with the pin and shit with the grenade. That was dope.
That was his daughter, right?
Yeah. No, by the way, people are speculating that was the daughter of the main guy from 3.
Wait.
Because there was a rumor
because they both have the same little scar above their eyebrow and shit.
The kid, Giancarlo Esposito's kid, the one holding the grenade.
Yeah, people are saying that's not his daughter. That's actually the daughter of Homeboy from 3.
That's my bad. I thought it was a little boy.
I thought it was a little boy.
No, it was a girl.
It's a girl. Yeah, it's a girl.
The name Jose, I just thought it was a boy.
Yeah, I heard Jose too.
I didn't hear their name at all. But apparently, maybe that's a very.
Wait, Rico, maybe did you hear Jose or you just thought?
No, no. I heard him say Jose too.
I didn't hear that at all.
I remember before he said that, I was like, "Is that a boy or a girl?"
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks like Dino. And then he said Jose. Oh, okay.
I thought it was.
Hey, I'm gonna say if that's a boy, that's a very, very girly looking boy. But apparently. Yeah, but
very manly looking girl.
But apparently in the game you can play as both a male and female. But they have one of those gender neutral names, Danny. Danny could be a guy name or a girl name.
It's still first person though, so
yeah. So I guess it doesn't really matter in the end, but it looks cool. I'd like to check it out. But yeah, Valhalla. Here's the thing about Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna say Assassin's Creed to me is like comfort food. I'm gonna like it no matter what. Like playing those games, I always feel good playing them. So I'll definitely play this. Even though, like, I don't know what it is. There's just something about this that's a little bit of my spider sense is going off a little bit. But it's Assassin's Creed. Actually, you know what it is? It's the time period. I don't give a fuck about Vikings. I'm just gonna be real. I don't care about Vikings. I like Norse mythology, but they're not gonna have actual mythological shit in this. What? I answered my own question. That's my problem with it because I know they're not going to go ham on that shit. Like the way God of War does it, that's how I like my Norse mythology. Like we're in there, This shit is just going to be. They're going to be paying homage to it, which is actually pretty cool. But like the whole Viking raids and all that, that's not really a part of history I really care much about.
And I mean, the truth. Remember, we were talking about that recently. Remember, I was saying about that series of you were like, "Oh, I want to see a documentary."
I want to see that.
So I watched one, and they said that there is no records. These people did not leave any records. So everything that we know about them is from the English,
from
and from the French, from all the people that they invaded. They're like, "Oh yeah, these Northmen came over and did this." So we don't even really know their motives, but we assume it has to do with their land sucking and all this shit. But
yeah.
It's fucked up. It's weird. I don't know.
But what else? Watch Dogs Legion. I'll play it. We'll see what happens. Hyperscape. You guys just said it's a battle royale, so that definitely count me out of that shit.
Is it multiplayer?
Probably. It has to be.
Legion.
Legion. I don't know.
He actually has like a build of the game, and he's been playing it.
Of Hyperscape.
Yeah, Hyperscape. Yeah. He's been playing it for weeks now. He's been, we've been in the Discord. He's been showing it to us.
What's going on? What did they show with Broke Point? What's going on with that? Oh, AI teammates. Okay.
Yeah, remember that something that they removed because they thought people didn't want that and they wanted to make it immersive for everybody to team up. They're like, no, we like our AA teammates. Oh, we'll put it back. And look at a year later.
They're still peddling the crew true, man. What the fuck? All right, whatever.
But no, he was saying as a battle royale game, it's a very good one.
And
I guess if there's anybody's opinion you can trust about the battle royales, I'll trust Malik Forte because he plays all of them.
What about it's
still a battle royale game though.
What's that Smash Brothers one that they showed off?
Brawlhalla?
Yeah, Brawlhalla,
yeah. Brawlhalla's always been a thing for Ubisoft. I heard decent things about that. A lot of people that like Smash, they like that as well.
Yeah.
And I know Rayman's in there, so I'm just like, oh, this is the only time we're gonna see Rayman during this conference because they put him in there. I think Shovel Knight is in there. It's a bunch of crossover, little characters. And
is that mobile only?
It says
Brawlhalla's been out on PS4 for a while now.
Okay.
It says Android and iOS.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He's like, oh, Android, iOS. So I'm like,
I think they were just announcing that it is now on more platforms. But no, Brawlhalla's been out for about over a year now.
Shit!
Thank you for letting us know. I thought it was a new game.
There you go. Right, exactly. I didn't know.
And
keeping secrets.
Yeah. Just Dance 2020 because of course Ubisoft has to throw that in there. Something called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. I don't know what the fuck that is.
That one you were talking about with Splinter Cell. What? That's not that same game.
That's mobile game. Oh, what the hell is this shit?
That was another game, and where they showed it was like Elite Forces or something. Elite.
Oh, Elite Squad. It's called
Elite Squad. Yeah. So I don't know what type of
game generic fucking name.
Yeah.
Elite Squad. All right, whatever. All right. Any last thoughts on Ubisoft?
It was soft.
It was soft.
I just want to say, Brawlhalla's been out since October 17, 2017.
Damn.
Shit, was in early access or something?
Under the radar, man.
No, it was definitely under the radar. They really haven't. The only time it really blew up in advertisement is, like I said, when they started adding the crossover characters like Shovel Knight and Rayman. That's when it started to build in popularity. But when it first came out in 2017, nobody cared about it. And then, obviously, this is just them saying, hey, we have this Brawlhalla game, and we know we haven't had a spike in popularity since we added those crossover characters. So let's just show it again, announcing it for Android and iOS. So that's what it's
weird. This has been a weird weekend. I mean, that and with the UFC, with EA announcing the game coming out just next month, no real time to promote it or anything. Oh, it's dropping in a few weeks. Enjoy. Like, what?
Crazy shit. All right, let's move on. Next question from Mr. Eurocar. Right, if you were to give it a percentage, how much of a chance do you think the possibility of the PS5 and Miles Morales being bundled together at launch? I did not edit that one. Here's the thing. We said this before, right? It is very rare, if not heard of, that to have a bundle at launch. You never hear about that. But maybe, things being weird this year, maybe they will bundle it,
That's part of the reason why I asked it, because everything going on with the world, and considering that this console is not we're expecting it to be a higher priced console than the standard generation from at least the last two. That's what makes me think that there could be, if this console cost $500 plus, there could be the possibility that maybe they could add Miles Morales. It's not, it's not a full-fledged game, but it's a standalone title that, it could be a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
That maybe could be, one of those things where, people maybe kids with their parents, they're not they see the PS5 on the store shelves and it doesn't look as enticing to get because it's of the price. But if it has, Miles Morales on it, Spider-Man, it's something that could sweeten the pot.
Here's the problem, though, and this is usually why they don't do console bundles at launch, because supply is low, right? So, because usually console bundles are, you have an excess of console thing. You want to sell more consoles, let's ship them with a fucking bundle, right? You're not really going to have an excess of consoles. From what we heard from reports, obviously take that how you will, we're really going to have 7 million PlayStation 5s available between launch and February, right? They're not gonna have a lot, so if they do a bundle, it's like half of their systems that they have available are gonna be bundles. So it's gonna be weird,
What do you guys mean by bundle? You mean it's gonna have a different design, or just a code, a download code?
No, it'll have a game with it.
Yeah, it'll come with the game. Yeah.
So it's just a digital code that could cost them nothing to do a digital code, not a physical.
It'd be cool if it was.
They usually don't do digital codes.
No, they usually do physicals. Usually does come with physical.
He's just saying that would be a good alternative.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just alternative. If they want to just do it quick, like you said, if they were like, we're just gonna wing this right now. All right, so then slap on a sticker, say, hey, included is a download code plus 60-day trial or plus or something like that.
They could also advertise that with that digital edition.
You could.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
digital, and you get Spider-Man.
That's the thing that report never even stated. Like, out of those 7 million, potential 7 million, by the way, people, we're not saying that that's it written in stone. Of those potential 7 million, how many of those are the digital version? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, the last time I heard of a game being bundled with a console on launch was Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast.
That wasn't bundled. That came. You had to buy it separately.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it separately. So did Manny. I remember.
I didn't. Never came with it.
Yeah, you had to buy it. You had to buy it separately.
I guess mine came with it.
I remember because I pre-ordered the Dreamcast, and I pre-ordered Sonic Adventure and Soul Calibur, all separately.
Oh, okay. Last one that I can remember is Wii, with Wii Sports.
Yeah, that did come with something. Yeah,
and I think Wii U might have come with something like one of those Wii U kind of carnival shits. But yeah,
generally you don't hear about it.
It's been sort of almost unprecedented, recently, but it could be something. And everyone is talking about. I'm just trying to put my Sony hat on.
Oh.
Since we're called the Pony Down, we usually do that anyway. So, so it's like, think about it. Xbox has the advantage, or quote unquote, might have the advantage with the log card, right? When they're advertising their pricing, it's like, hey, we have the Series X, which might be the same price as the Xbox, as a PS5 SAT or the PS5 physical one, but we'll have the log card, which might be $100 or $200 cheaper. And that's, like we've been talking about how they're playing this game of chicken where, no one wants to announce the price because the other company wants to undercut the other one. But if Microsoft has the advantage in price, if Sony announces that they're all the consoles, including the digital and the physical one, is going to come with a copy of Miles Morales, that's a mic drop.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That's going to sell all the PS5s off the shelves when they launch.
So here's a question I have about all this. Do you think? I think before they even announce, Microsoft or Xbox announce the price for these new consoles, we'll probably know something's going to happen because retailers will try to do some big sales to
get rid of the shit. Yeah.
So I'm assuming as soon as we see Target, Best Buy, or whatever, Walmart saying, "Hey, we got these sales on Xbox One X and Xbox S," like, all right, they know something. They know something's going to, because think about it, $200 for the new console. That's undercutting all their current models right now. So if somebody's really on a budget.
I still don't believe that, by the way.
I can't believe
I don't believe that shit for a second.
All those retailers would have to eat that cost up because they're not saying, hey, we got 100 or 200, 300 at this store. We're going to send it back and Microsoft's going to give somebody. But no, they're not. You own that shit.
Yeah.
Now you got to go and you're going to eat that. That's a big cost. That's a lot.
You know.
No.
Yo, quick shout out to Rich on the chat. He's like, Knack 3 PS5 bundle coming soon.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Gnip.
Yeah, that's one game that they shouldn't do it. That should have sold less.
Knack PS3 bundle. You crazy, Rich. What else? What the fuck was the question again? We'll see about the bundle. We will see about that.
So a percentage. What percentage would you give it?
50-50.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me go, Brian.
Think about what 50-50 means, Carlos.
It means it's a coin flip.
It means it's either going to happen or it's not. So basically, 50-50 means you're copping out of the question, which I am, because who the fuck knows, you know?
If I were to give it, I'd say maybe 40%, 35% actually, 35%. It's not likely, but I think there's a lot of strong possibilities. Just considering everything that's been going on.
Yo, brother, this is completely off topic. I remember one time Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying, if your weatherman doesn't give you anything with 100% like certainty, that means he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, yeah, I agree with that. You know, 82% chance of rain. Like, you don't know, bruh. You know. So, Adam, what do you think the likelihood is? The percentage
of the price or
the bundle of the bundle?
Of the bundle, it's a high percentage, at least for the digital one.
What's the number? Give us a number.
It just makes sense. I say 97.331. Just because it's no sweat off their backs. They're like, shit, we can fucking just put a code. Yeah, why not? Well, it's our IP. We own it. It's not a big deal. But I'm thinking that it might be more of just a Spider-Man. I'm not sure about the Miles one, but definitely Spider-Man. If they want to sell it, that's a big selling point right there.
All right, so your percentage is hot 97. All right,
hot 97.
Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, man. Hey, listen. He's still not denying the remastering engine, man. You never know. And like we said on the last show, that patent that Sony has could be what he talked about. Just, you know, he reinterpreted it a different way. Because remember, he said that's his name for it, you know? So he could, Hip Hop Gamer could be right, people. You know, this could be very interesting, you know? So, man, do you have a percentage on the bundle?
The bundle?
Yeah.
What would it cost?
No, not the cost, a percentage that it's going to happen.
You know what? I'm going to go with a 50-50 chance. That's not really... I mean, here's the thing. We still don't know. We still don't know if Spider-Man's coming out on day and date anyway.
That's a good point.
It just says launch window. That could be.
Well, it said holiday. It said holiday. Yeah.
It says holiday. That's such a wide. You know, there's at least two major holidays in between there. So
yeah,
it is, and you're making a good point, but I just feel like it makes too much sense to release this day and date with the PS5.
I think my personal opinion is I think it will launch day and date, but you're right. And by the way, holiday really means end of November to end of December. That's really the holiday season.
But the end of December is a farce. Hardly any games ever come out.
And by the end of December, I'm talking about like literally December 19th. You know, like after that, games do not come out anymore. You know.
Yeah.
All right, Riku-san. What's the percentage?
I would say 40-60.
40-60. All right. And Brian.
Let's say 30-70.
Interesting.
30 being nah, 70 being yay.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Ew, excuse me.
Oh, damn!
Sorry,
So-
the other round. 30%.
I was about to say, right? Fuck. I know you guys count different in
says
England,
that
man.
30% says yeah. 7% says no.
All right, there we go. They do math differently over there, man. So Riku, what was you said 40-60, but which one's 40, which one's 60?
Yeah, 40 is yes, 60 is no.
Interesting. All right, cool, good stuff. All right, let's go to the next question from Mr. I'm dragging this shit out. Axel Wolf. All right, first question. Ubisoft announced Hyperscape would have Twitch integration where Twitch viewers can vote on things that'll affect the match in progress. I just wanted to know what you guys' thoughts were on that. Anybody want to expand on that? What the fuck are we talking about?
That was cool. It was like through Twitch, and he says that you can set up the stipulations and stuff like that. So whether they have infinite ammo for certain weapons and other little things that can happen on the battlefield. So everyone has to vote. Sort of like how you do a match vote before the match starts. It's the same type of thing, but the players don't get to do it. It's the viewers. That could be fun. But if everyone starts picking the same shit, then it's like, all right, well, then I'm going to jump out of this game here and go somewhere else. But yeah, I think it's a cool twist on it. Why not?
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't affect me, so sure. Go ahead. Go nuts.
I think it's the thing where it's like, to be honest, we had that this generation. So advertising that as like something that hasn't been done before. I think they're only doing that because of the fact that this generation, it wasn't utilized as much. It kind of got pushed to the side, kind of like all of the type of PlayStation gimmicks that come with the beginning of each generation. But no, we had that this generation. I know when it came to, let's say, one of my Dynasty Warriors games, I know if you stream, I think it was one of the early ones, if you streamed it on Twitch via the PlayStation, Live from PlayStation app, and if you're viewing and watching it via the Live from PlayStation app, they would have little unique icons in the stream that you can press that change the change how the battle will play out. Like the viewers can choose something to make more troops arrive on the battlefield to fight you, or give you a buff or a debuff type of stuff. So, I mean, it's been done before. Like I said, just not many developers decided to go ahead and use it. So to see it come back is cool, but this ain't something new, people. But it is good that it is coming back. Hopefully, we see more of it, but we probably won't.
All right. Anything else? You guys want to chime in on this? I don't care. I just figured I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Yeah. We'll have to wait to see. They've always tried to do this. Remember when with the Division, the first one, where they were going to set up as a commander and have one person be able to look like through a sky drone.
Oh, yeah, I remember that shit.
They've always tried to get other spectators involved in the gameplay. And that didn't work, and they scrapped it all together. It never came.
I remember at 1E3, Manny and Chris and I, we went to a Division thing, and they were talking about the drone, how you can use the iPad or whatever. It's like, that shit never even happened, man.
Yep, never happened.
Remember that shit, Manny? That's when we saw Shigeru Miyamoto coming out of the booth, like, what the fuck's he doing here? You know?
He's looking at the competition. That's what he's doing. He's like, oh, well, I don't need to worry about this shit.
I was coming here, Manny's like, yo, that's Miyamoto. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Man,
that wasn't gonna work. Wasn't practical. It caused cheating and stuff like that. Because he can see everything down the roads. He can zoom out so he can see if other people are coming. Oh, stop! Don't go yet. Wait till they pass. All right, now I'll go.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, man. Another Spider-Man question, people. All right.
Spider-Man.
With Sony releasing the box art for PlayStation 5, or for Miles Morales on PlayStation 5. Does that confirm a $60 price tag, and does it change your perception on the price? Here's the thing, and I want to clear this up. Just because that one EA game, NBA game, is $70 doesn't mean every next-gen game is $70. A lot of people seem to think that all of a sudden. So that box art doesn't confirm or deny anything. It confirms that the games will be playable on PS5. That's it, you know? We could assume it's going to be $60, you know, but again, no company is talking about $70 except for EA and only one game specifically, you know.
The only things that people can go off of is the fact that the first one was $60, and if they're pushing this like it's a full new game, like they're saying, then I guess it'd be $60.
Yeah, you know what? I think I may have slightly misinterpreted this thing because again, that's something that's going to come up later. But right, does it confirm that it's a $60 game versus a $40 game? But here's the thing, you know, that's how much like the DLC for Uncharted costs $40.
But remember, they're not saying this is DLC. That's what that guy said.
But they did say that this thing. I mean, remember how Insomniac had the weird messaging for the game? Because one of the Insomniac guys, before he pulled it back. He said this is comparable to Lost Legacy in length.
Yeah, and then they scrapped him on that. They're like, no.
Maybe it will be $60.
Here's the thing. I keep
saying Manny, you might be right about this, bro.
It's gonna be a full game.
I think it is. Here's the thing.
What we both said.
I mean, I think they're definitely going to charge a $60 price tag for that thing.
My initial, this is all on tape. I said no. It's just a DLC game, $40. The more I'm thinking about it, I think they're gonna just sell this shit as a $60 box game.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they are.
They're
gonna sell that shit for
a premium price. That's it. It's a new console.
I think they're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Here's
the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing about price, and people don't like to admit this.
Keep it real.
When you see a cheaper priced game, people automatically think it's a cheap game.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
So, like that with everything.
If they're trying to project the idea that this is not a DLC, it's not a this or it's a that, what are they going to do? What's the best way to do that? You just throw a $60 price on that.
Yeah.
And the game is, and if they're talking about Lost Legacy is about a 10 hour long game.
Yeah. Again, remember, to us that's perfectly fine. To most modern gamers, $10 hours is not enough.
That's and not even that long ago. What was it? The previous Uncharted game, Uncharted 3, was shorter than that.
It was about all Uncharted are about 10 hours, but Uncharted 4 was about 20 hours. It was a long game,
so, I mean, so that's the thing. So it's like it's the length of an old Uncharted game,
Yeah, no, but again, things are changed now. People expect these long fucking games.
Yeah, but when we look at the tail of the tape, people don't even get that far in the game.
No, they don't. Isn't that funny? I talk about this all the time. Adam, you and I talk about this all the time. It's like these people demand long games, but I know, Brian, you say that the people who demand it do want longer games, but
there's no spoilers in this, but I'm playing The Last of Us 2, and I'm more than halfway or so, and I got some trophies popped up listed as rare, ultra rare. I'm like, then a lot of people didn't finish this fucking game. The ones that are talking all the smack about it didn't even finish it. Bro, because that should not be listed as rare. Just playing, not even collectibles.
People were talking shit about this game before it even came out. So
that's true. They were giving it 1 star and shit.
Too much haterade out there.
And then again, that goes back to the other thing. Oh, I watched it on Twitch. I'm giving it a 1. Fuck out of here.
Fucking people, man.
Bullshit.
I'm on board the other side now. I'm with Manny on this one. It's gonna be they're gonna sell you this shit for $60.
They're gonna sell it for $60. I mean, if it's gonna come with the console, that's a different
question. Who knows?
But
50-50, baby.
Here's the thing: like when a console launches, people are gonna want to have something to play with it, and I'm sure people are not gonna remember that fucking Emotobots or whatever the hell is on the. So it's already packed in on the console.
You know what? They could. I just thought about this now. They could play up on people's stupidity. People be like, oh shit, it's a next gen game, but it's still $60. I'm getting a bargain. Think about it, because people are already assuming these games are only $70.
Well, not everybody. No, the casuals don't know this yet. We know this because of what we see with NBA. But if you're not following it and you just know, I heard some new consoles, you don't know the pricings of stuff yet. Just like with the Spider-Man.
But I'm talking about even guys in the know, even our fans, they're just assuming it's $70 now.
Nah, they jumping the gun on that.
They really are. You guys need to chill, man.
No, that's not happening. But when it comes out, I'm sure a lot of people, especially the casuals, all they have to do is see a new console, new Spider-Man game. They don't know DLC, 10 hours, none of that bullshit. They just see new console, new Spider-Man. Oh, that's Miles. Okay, this is all new. Makes sense. It's been a few years. Okay, all new. That's it, and that's enough for them.
And let's just be honest, those same people, they're not going to finish the game anyway, so they'll be happy. They'll be happy, They're gonna put 2 hours into that shit and be done with it and be happy.
And then when it's just for show, that people, their friends and stuff. Hopefully, when all this Rona shit's over, come over and be like, "Oh, what you got? Y'all got the new PS5 with the Spider-Man. Oh, let's play." 2 minutes in, yo, you ready? Put on the mat and let's do some real games. That's how it goes. I've been to these parties.
Oh man, I know too many people like that, man. Like dudes, I just play fucking Call of Duty and Madden all year, and that's it.
But you know what? Those are good party games. Because when people come over, story-based games, like, it's okay. But when it's the sport game stuff, you're like, oh, you think you're nicer? Give me the controller. Let's do this. And then they start back, and then we do a round robin. And the same thing goes with the shooting games. When people go play Call of Duty, go online.
Call of
Your
Duty
KD sucks, man. You got like 15 deaths, 4 kills. You're whack. Give me the controller. Oh shit! Next, you know, you're doing another pass around. You can't really do that with these story-based games.
No, you can't. All right, man. Let's move on. Where the fuck are we? Next up is this is a bonus question. We will allow it tonight because we don't have a lot of questions tonight. All right. Lately, you guys have been discussing the rise in video game prices and how games cost more to develop. Something I never hear anyone mention is the fact that more people play video games now than 10 or 20 years ago. Wouldn't that level things out? Great question. I wish this was one of your main ones. It's a good question. It's like
I brought this up when we first heard about it.
Because way more people play games now.
Yeah, and I was saying the games are too expensive as is. They shouldn't even be so expensive. Like we all talked about, where back in the day, even with the Super NES and all those games are like $50-$60, depending on where you went. They were expensive. So the games were already overpriced. And so they should be lower, especially with all the people playing and the different versions that you can get. And now that's why a lot of people just rely on sales. And that's another reason why, PC, quote unquote, is king, because the games are on sale before they even come out.
I mean, oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but that's it. I just received an email from great. Yeah, there you go. No, but whoever gets Green Man Gaming, and they were talking about Death Stranding is on sale with 20% off. The PC version. I was like, shit, man. It's like, why even bother thinking about putting a pre-order on a full-price game? It's gonna go on sale before it even comes out. So
here's the thing that doesn't make sense. It's like, we're expecting video games to go up in price, like the Red Dead Redemption 2s, the Valhallas, maybe, those types of like huge AAA games, maybe even Death Stranding. But a game like 2K, which is same shit almost every year, they have like incremental steps where they go up in quality. It's a game that is always in the top 10 best-selling games of the year every year. They make a lot of money via microtransactions, especially being it a sport game. So I'm just surprised why this one is like the first one, to come out of the gate saying, "Hey, this next gen game is going to be $70, by the way." So I'm just wondering if this is the first part of the dam, breaking and letting a little bit of water before
they just want to see people bite. I see this just like what we saw on the PS3 and 360, or when they were doing those $10 to play online. I was like, "Oh, you gotta get this extra $10 code." It was like, "Oh shit!" And then eventually that phased out. It's just testing the waters to see if people will pay. That's it. Probably. Don't buy this shit, people. Don't do it. If you're really against it, if you think $70 is too much, it's a trap. And you know what? It's a sport game trap. And people need to understand sport game traps, because all those shits always go right back on the damn shelf once the season's over, or even halfway through. If your team isn't winning and they're getting sucky players in the transfer, you don't need that game no more.
It's a sweat trap.
Yeah, so you don't even bother, and you know it. You know who I'm talking about, because you're like looking at your shit now. You're like, "Yeah, I got a bunch of things here that I don't even fucking play." It's the same thing. Don't do it. Just wait. Let the hype. Everyone's gonna be hyped. Oh, got this, got that. Give it like 2-3 weeks, and then you'll be like, "You know what? I'm good. I'm okay. I'll wait for the first month to pass," because right after the first month, it happens to all of them. You'll see Xbox Live, PS4, my PS5. They all have the PlayStation stores or the eShop, the Xbox Live sales, and they'll be on sale. They all do the same thing. So just wait. That's it. If you don't want to pay it, you don't have to pay it. You know it's going to go on sale. They're not Nintendo. So
yeah, the Nintendo tax. Yeah. Brian, get in here, man, because you always talk about game prices and development costs and all that other stuff. What's your take?
What's the question again? Because I'm kind of like a bit lost here.
What you playing, man?
The same thing, Elite Dangerous. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I'll repeat it. It goes with the likely. Oh no, my bad. Okay, lately you guys have been discussing the rise in video game prices and how games cost more to make nowadays. Something I never hear anyone mention is the fact that far more people play games now than they did 10 or 20 years ago. What are your thoughts?
Ooh, yeah, it makes sense. I just chalk it down to greed. Like they're making the prices go up because they can, and they're trying to find ways to justify it. All these people tend to say, "Oh, games cost more to make." Like, they're not really costing that much more to make. They are just being, if it's kind of like any other like team effort, right? If you have a team that makes a product and it takes them X amount of money to make a product, it doesn't mean that it took them that much amount of money to make the product. It just means that the overall cost took that much amount. You need to factor in like how much redundancy was in that idea, in that development, if you wish, in that production, if you wish. And I think that's where the issue is that there's lots of fluff that goes into making games, and that's where the costs are hitting hard. And I feel like if they actually make development more streamlined and make it make sense and cut out the garbage, then I think games won't actually cost that much to make. Like, yes, okay, you still need a big team to get things off the ground, but if you have a good idea from the start, you don't spend like 10 years. Like, look at Anthem. Like, how long did that take? Sorry, not Anthem. Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, they said that they worked on it for like X many years, but yet the actual game that we've seen, that was done in like the last, what, like 18 months or something, or like the last like short amount of time. So in that sense, they spent like X amount of years doing the game, but yet the last third of that time was actually making the game that we've seen. So hence 2/3 of that was just wasted. So hence that's like 2/3 of time, of money that could have been spent on something else. Yahtzee had a good analogy on his review of Last of Us 2, which I think that you should watch because it's funny as all hell. He said that Last of Us 2 is a really good game, but there's so much filler in like midsection that they could have taken that time, the money, and effort that went into that game and made a whole another game that would have actually been like equally as good. And to me, that makes sense. Like, you don't need to pump games up with so much filler that it inflates the budget and then turn around and say, "Oh, games cost this much money to make. You know, we need more money." It's like, no. If you run your business better, it won't cost that much to make. And I think that's where people are starting to like get this idea like, "Oh, they cost so much to make." It's like they don't cost that much money to make. People are just making them cost more to make. There's a difference.
I didn't think any of that was filler, so to each their own.
Yeah.
Again, to you it may not, but then to
Oh no!
people,
By the way, Brian, I agree. I agree with that completely. Actually, hey, by the way, I'm always surprised when I hear that guy Yahtzee still doing videos.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, zero punctuation.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that guy stopped doing shit like 10 years ago when the joke ran out. You know.
Oh, the joke's still there. The joke's still there, and he's still having fun. The best part is when he makes fun of the fact that he coined the term PC Master Race.
Oh shit! Was that him?
Yeah, that was him that coined it when
he
did
nice.
Witcher 2 review, I think it was. To me, that's what needs to happen more. You need to actually, again, Antonio, like you even talk about that like quite often when you say, okay, this game is good, but there's just like filler content, stuff. Just put in there just to pad time. What if you could take the time and money and effort that took to pad out that game, like strip it out and make a whole nother game from that?
That would be nice.
You know?
If only, Brian, if only. That'd be great. Yeah, because I never really thought about it. Like I said, if you could take all that bullshit filler out of The Last of Us 2 and make another game, like, yeah, that would have been great. You know, instead of, because I was like, when I'm not to get spoilery, but there was a certain point when I got to The Last of Us 2, I'm like, okay, we're done, right? The game's about to be over in about the next hour. And then 12 hours pass. I'm like, what the fuck am I still doing here? You know? It's crazy.
Well, that's the way I feel with AC games, which is why I sort of fell off on it, because so many side quests, do this, do that. Why do I gotta do all this shit? Let me just do the main story and be out.
Well, this wasn't a side quest. This was literally like if you took.
That's what I'm saying.
This was literally if you took the last 20 minutes of AI, which shouldn't have been in the movie, and then made another 2 hours out of that. It's like, what the fuck? We're done. We finished it, man. Why are we still going? You know? Oh man,
that was Tomb Raider. Remember the Tomb Raider where it was when they did the reboot where once you get to the beach and you already have your boat, you had to get all the parts and you were like, oh, we're ready to go. And then it turned into some weird zombie game. We had to go and fight the samurais and they were all dead. I was like, what is this? A completely different game tacked on. We built the boat. We could just get on it and sail away. It was.
Well, you still have to figure out the mystery of why you got to the island. You know,
we had the boat. Time to go.
Yeah, Rico, I heard you muttering back there, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying in regards to The Last of Us, I don't know, that final part where it felt like it should have ended and then it didn't, it just kept on going. I don't know. Even though I felt that way, I felt it was intentional, just like the beginning of the game. They make you hate Abby. They did that on purpose. I felt that ending was on purpose as well, because obviously, you know, the story before that portion starts, you know she is supposed
to... Remember, careful, Riku. By the way...
I know,
I'm day one as Abby right now. That's what I'm up to.
I know. I'm not spoiling anything. All I'm saying is that when you get to that part and you hear the dialogue, you know, she's supposed to stop, but she continues.
Yeah.
So it just felt like it, you know, it was a part of the story. So they were trying to make you feel that way as well, and they accomplished that since everyone did feel that way, just like the beginning of the game.
Yeah. By the way, people, if you want to hear me and Riku's unfiltered thoughts of The Last of Us 2, go and check out our spoiler alert, man, where we talk for 2 hours with Taylor Lyles and Carlos, man. It was good stuff. All right, let us move on to the next question here. Where are we? All right, Kyle D. Mitchell. All right, let me finish this question, guys. I know somebody's going to jump in. With the likely price increase on games for next generation, do you think we need to hold game makers to a different standard or higher standard? Does that also make reviews even more important since everybody's wallets will be a little tighter in the coming year? Great question, but I have to debunk the likelihood part. We don't know that. We're just making an assumption here. We do not know that. Just because EA is making one game cost $7 doesn't mean every game. But the rest of your question, we are going to definitely discuss it. It's a good question. Rico, why don't you start us off? Do you think if games are $70, should we hold them to a higher standard? And will reviews become more important?
I definitely do think we should hold them to a higher standard. In regards to reviews being more important, I think in that regards, you should just do exactly what we said you should be doing when it comes to reviews. Find a specific reviewer or site that aligns with the stuff that you like instead of listening
to your play style.
Yeah, instead of listening to a whole bunch of people you don't fucking know, so their opinion. Like, obviously my opinion on The Last of Us and, you know, Tony's opinion on The Last of Us vary, you know? So it's like if you're out there just looking for a bunch of reviews, you're going to be confused. So just in regards to reviews, find a site or a person that is in the lines with your taste and continue to do that. We've been saying do that. So I don't think even if the games were $100, I would say still do that. You know, that's the best way to go about it. In regards to the first part, yes, definitely. I think we should hold them to a higher standard. If they want to make us pay more, we should expect more. And from a quantity and quality standpoint, I definitely don't think games should stay the same and then they just raise because of inflation or this or that. Nah, you want more money from us, then you better provide higher quality and more quantity. That's the way I see it.
2K says.
What do you say, Adam, about this?
Especially 2K.
Yeah, that 2K when the rep came out making that analogy, it was like, oh well, you see these paid services, Netflix and all, they've all gone up, and we haven't gone up. They don't charge $60 for a game or for a movie in their case. They don't do it.
But here's
the thing. Not even a month. It's not even $60 a month.
That's true. Even with that comparison, though, with them saying like Netflix makes it pay more and you guys don't bat an eye. Yeah, because Netflix is getting Netflix originals. They're putting more shit on there. Like I said, we're getting. When they came out and said that they're raising their prices, they also came out at the same time and said this is all the stuff we're doing for this price raise. They didn't just raise it just because, you know. Netflix came out and said the reasons why, and that's why no one really complained, because they're like, okay, I'm enjoying all of these.
Got all these new series coming out. We see it.
Exactly,
we see it.
Exactly. We see where the money's going. So that's why no one batted an eye. So if they want to bring up Netflix or any other fucking, I can't defend fucking Amazon. We can go talk to them. But in regards to Netflix, like if they want to bring up Netflix, man, they better keep that same energy. Like this next NBA, because that's one thing I've been hearing from the 2K fans is that fucking those net codes are some of the worst net codes you can see in gaming. You guys, they need to fucking figure that shit out, especially if they want to be the vanguards in regards to raising the prices. They really do need to figure that shit out. There's no fucking way they can sit here and fucking make a game every fucking year, and the net code is still booty butt cheek lettuce. It's bullshit.
Yeah, Rico, as someone who used to play NBA 2K a lot, those 2K servers are garbage. Some of the worst, man.
Yeah,
But yeah.
See, that's what I'm hearing. I hear that from the my friends too. So that's the way I see it.
The way I see it, we should hold games to a higher standard now. You know, I think too many fucking people are giving 10 out of 10s to games that don't deserve it, letting shit pass, like buggy ass games like Fallout just pass just because, I can't do that in any other game. You know, like we should be holding them to a higher standard anyway. Not because, and I'm not just talking about Fallout 70s, I'm talking about all Fallouts. They're all broken pieces of shit. Let's just be real here, you know. Bethesda can't make a game to save their life, you know. But yeah,
just like appear out of nowhere in that next.
Yeah, right. Like, wait, hold on, what?
It's like
so we should be holding them to a higher standard anyway, whether it's $60 or $70. You know, that doesn't matter. It's like we should be holding them to a higher standard. As for the reviews, you guys already know my stance on reviews. Like and I'm saying this as a reviewer. Don't listen to fucking reviews, man. Make up your own mind. You know. But if you have to, try to, like Rico said, find somebody that's aligned with your tastes and thoughts and shit, and go along with them. But generally speaking, try it yourself. Trust your gut. You know, Manny always talk about the spider sense, right? My spider sense has never fucking let me down, and both ways never let me down. Because usually when it goes off and I buy the game's shit. You know, so trust yourself, man. Don't trust anybody else. On opinions like that. You know, but I can't understand why you would want to read the review if a game costs $70, but still, you can't just be like, it's a 77 on Metacritic. It's a bad game. You may like the game, you know. Conversely, the game could be 90 on Metacritic. It could be shit, you know. That shit don't matter, you know. So trust in yourself, Luke.
I think
you should
let Carlos finish, man. Fuck.
Where's Carlos?
You should always always judge a game to high standards, but if a game charges you $10 for it, then there obviously comes in a quality that they think that you should be paying $10 for. So if you're gonna pay $70, then you adjust it, and obviously every $70 now is obviously not $70 20 years ago. It's worth way less now. So yeah, I think you should always judge a game accordingly. But don't just. I mean, this whole $70 phenomenon shouldn't be the reason why you should do it. You should always be doing it, even right now or a couple of years ago. Whenever you started gaming, that's especially if you're an adult and you're paying for these games and you're buying them for your kids and stuff like that. You should be doing that all the time.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Anybody else want to chime in? Brian, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, like I always say, like games on launch to me are never really worth it because these days there's such a high uncertainty as to whether or not the games will actually run well and won't have issues here and there. And then it's like, there's the day 1 patch, day 2 patch, and then it's like the first week it's like, we need like iron out all the stuff. So yeah, like if you are going to be watching or if you are going to be buying games day 1, then make sure that it's games from franchises that have a good reputation for coming out strong. See where the embargo is, because it turns out that games that have a embargo closer to the launch date are kind of a bit whereas the more far out they are, then the more faith they have in the product itself. Look out for games that try to bamboozle you with like, hey, pre-order now so that you don't miss out on this content. It's probably just a ploy to try and get your cash in quick. Again, I was as what Riku said, like find people that you enjoy listening to, that you trust, that have solid opinions, and you listen to them. That's why I watch a lot of zero punctuation. I feel like Yat does a really good job at making comedy out of game review, and in 5 minutes he can convey his thoughts and feelings better than most people can in like I don't know how long IGN reviews are these days because I stopped watching them. But also, I watch people like ACG. I know that Adam knows that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Carrot.
they go in for like half an hour on like a game review.
Mhm.
So yeah, so again, it's all about finding people whose views you can trust to some degree, and then just letting them go from there. And then even better, you have the internet, so you just watch people play the game. That way, there is no real BS filter like how you get with these game demos, where it's like, hey, here's some pre-canned footage of us playing the game, trying to trick you that it's actually how the game works. No, just go to YouTube or Twitter, and you see the game. And then to compound things even further, there's Game Pass. You know, if games on Game Pass, pay like what 50 cents to get Game Pass and try out the game. You know, like there's lots of avenues. You shouldn't have to just put your money into Metacritic says the game's a 10 out of 10. I should buy it. Like no, people that give games 10 out of 10 tend to okay, I can't say that term because that's not right. They tend to huff their own farts, let's say. Yeah. They tend to be really up themselves, you know. So, yeah. That's my thoughts.
All right, anybody else? Game prices and whether we should hold games to a higher standard.
Also, I think it also depends on how much a dollar costs to you.
Yeah.
You know, is $70, you know, going out on a limb. Like it might be more to one person than it is to another, so you know it always changes.
Would you say it's situational?
It's dynamic.
Yeah, you know.
It could be, but again, it all goes back to: do you think it's worth it? Is it worth an extra $10 for that game? Because that's one thing. Even if you have the money, like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. You're still going to want to know, well, why is it $10?
Well, no, I don't agree with you, Adam, because it's like because like your premise is like, is it worth the $10 extra? And I'm like, NBA 2K wasn't even worth $60.
But that's you. But to some people, that was. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
no, but you're just assuming that everyone thinks that this game is supposed to cost $60.
I'm not assuming that at all. I'm not assuming that. I'm saying that if somebody goes out, if they say, all right, new NBA is out. I was like, okay, $70. Why is it $70? That's it. That's the question. That's a question everybody's going to ask, regardless of how much money they have or not. Then we're like, that's just different. Why is it 70? It's always been 60 when they come out. All these games, when they come out 60. Why is it 70? It's a valid question. That's all. They're not going to say, what the fuck? Why? They may not get. They're not going to argue about it. They're just going to want to know why. So it's up to the publisher to tell us why. That's all.
All right, cool. All right, moving on to the next question. We are up to do the third. What's going on, brother? As you know, no, that's next. My bad. I almost forgot Kyle D. Mitchell's next question. All right. With gaming increasing in popularity due to the Rona, I don't know if it's about the Rona, bro. That's another assumption on your part. Do you think game streaming will be an even bigger competitive advantage than before the crisis? Interesting question. But it's assuming that game prices or game sales went up because of the Rona. I don't know if we could make that assumption, my friend.
I don't know. I was hearing that with Animal Crossing. Right, that was the thing. People were like, it sold well because it's so happy and it's dark times right now, and who knows? It's always been a hit. A lot of people like fucking Animal Crossing. So I don't know if it has anything to do with current situations.
Brett just texted me.
Oh.
No, because I'm not. I think I can say because he was like, I'm not going to be able to be on Throwdown because I gotta work. I'm like, make your money. Then he showed me a picture of the money he made. Because remember, he's a tattoo artist. He gets paid in bills. You know, I was like, fuck. You know, make your money, man. Yo, fucking paper money. I don't remember last time I touched that shit. You know,
that's it. I went a whole year without touching paper money. I was counting it too. I want to see how far I can go in life without touching paper money.
I honestly don't remember the last time I touched paper money.
And you know what's funny? Like,
yeah.
During a pandemic, like even before a pandemic, that shit was dirty as hell.
Oh, yo, you don't want, you definitely don't want to touch money now. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, you got the touch your money, you get the Rona and shit.
Look, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. People can still find on YouTube. This guy was like examining the dirt on money. Just type that in. It'll come up. It's one of them. The guy he put a light over it. He showed all kinds of filthy shit.
Fucking cum stains on the money.
Like there's species things popped up on it when he did the swab with a Q-tip and he put it like, yo, this has shit on it. It's like
Yo, by the way, I do remember the last time I touched paper money when I went to Atlantic City. Manny, that's the last time we both touched paper money.
Yep.
You know?
No.
New Orleans, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't talk about that. Yes. Yeah. That was the last time I touched paper money. You know, and yeah. What I don't even remember what the question was anymore. Here's the thing. Let's reframe the question a little bit. Do you think? Actually, no. I don't think the Rona is going to affect gaming in general. I think maybe because people lost their jobs, they may not be able to get the consoles and shit. So in that sense, you know,
worse sales. But that's definitely a given.
That's a given.
The only thing is now is to see how these publishers and stuff jump in on trying to entice people to do it. And that's what we talked about before when it comes to buying these new consoles. We're assuming, at least on my end, I'm assuming they're going to offer some kind of trade-in deals or payment plans. Just try to get the ball rolling. Because if you start talking big numbers, whether if it is a $500 or close to $600 for any of these things, that's just a lot of money that's not necessary at this time. Video game stuff is not a necessity. Keeping the lights on, food, those things are necessities. Yeah, and then now, I don't know if people have kids. I have kids. A lot of schools not going to close, not going to open up full time. So then it's like, all right, what are you going to do with the kids? You have to go get a babysitter, put them in some kind of system. That's an added expense.
I don't understand the part. Like, do you think game streaming will be an even bigger competitive advantage than before the crisis?
I think he means that more people are going to be doing it.
I think.
But what does he mean by competitive advantage? Like an Evo thing? Like
no. I think the reason why he's saying it is because during the pandemic there is shortages of supply, maybe physical supply. So maybe streaming service can provide a better alternative to provide games to customers. So I think that's what he's.
I thought he was talking about
no,
competing with actual streamers. And that there's going to be more options as opposed to always hearing the top guys, because all these people are just playing more games because of the Rona.
So he's either talking about that or he's talking about Google Play or some shit like that. Then
I didn't get that.
Oh, look at that! A wild bread appears. He'll say something eventually.
What's up, everybody? I'm on my phone. Sorry.
It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, let's move on to the next question here. Hey, Riku, check it out, man. Brett's here.
Yeah, my nigga Brett, what's good, man?
What up, homie?
You already know, man. The old school Throwdown elite right here, man. All right, next question from Do the Third. All right, here we go. With mid-gen refreshes like Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, do you think people will become disillusioned with next-gen console launches? And then he throws in Throwdown Rocks. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you.
So yeah, do you think PS4 Pro and Xbox Series X or Xbox One X could make people go, what the fuck do I need a next gen system for?
I don't know. If they bought those cycles, then they're all in already. Because if you're going that far just to get a little bump, then you're fine with that. Because with the Xbox One X was $500 off the bat. So if you're willing to pay $500 just for a little bump up. See, then you're all in for next gen, which most likely will be around that price range anyway. And the 4, I picked up the PS4 Pro. That was $400, but I sold my original, got $200 for that one. So I only felt like I spent $200 for it.
Yeah.
And I plan on doing the same thing if I do get the next one. I don't think I'm going to do it on launch unless they show me some enticing games, but that's usually my cycle because it's like I'm not going to need it, especially if I could do everything backward compatible on it. It's like, then what's the point?
Yeah. I think there's two big buckets of people. There's a lot of buckets, but two of the biggest ones, I think, are the people who are the enthusiasts, who got the Pro, who got the the Xbox One X, because they're the hardcore people who always get everything, who want to support the companies, and they want a better frame rate resolution. Yeah, those guys I think are still gonna keep getting the consoles, and they're gonna be like, oh, there's a new generation, let's get that. The early adopters. And then there's the other bucket of people who are the little Timmies and the little Johnnies that are going to Walmart and are buying a console, and it's just, hey, let's get you a PS4 for the first time. Oh, look, there's a PS4 right there, let's get it. And it just so happens to be the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. And I think those people are gonna get the games, are gonna get the new systems probably later anyways. Maybe they even get it earlier if their kids are getting into console gaming for the first time, and they're like, oh shit, I love my PS4, I love my Xbox One X. I'm keeping up with the Reddits, I'm keeping up with the Twitters. The PS5's coming up, I'm watching the conferences. Yeah, so like I think that can attribute to it too. But yeah, I don't think overall this will affect this iterative consoles will affect the overall sales of the next generation that's right next to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I don't think it's gonna affect that at all. Especially the hardcore guys, man. You already know what's up with them. They're gonna buy it anyway. I'm looking at you, Carlos.
Oh yeah. Well, except. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
Oh, Sam, what about the other than the hardcore guys? Like, I'll be honest, the announcement by Xbox that everything was going to be across both platforms for 2 years immediately kills my desire really to want a new system, because I'm not going to get anything much better. Like, it'll be a half step above, but again, it's like going from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation Pro. So like, okay, so you're telling me I'm going to get a little bump, and then nothing really happens for 2 years. So yeah, I'll probably buy it. And knowing me, I'll probably fucking pre-order the thing, because my logic is, well, if I'm gonna buy it now, or if I'm gonna buy it, I may as well buy it when I have the money. I'm sure people will come out and get some money, and I'll pre-order it. But that being said, for the people who aren't the big gamer enthusiasts, if they're like, man, I get to play all the same games, what's the difference? And you're like, oh, it's a little bit more powerful. And they're like, okay, so like the PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah, but like different. How?
Yeah, I think those people will get it eventually, but not at the launch.
Yeah.
But does the question directly say will it affect launch or just overall? I don't remember.
Lifetime sales.
It says people become disillusioned with next gen launches, so it is launch, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
disillusioned with this launch. They're not giving anything new. This is probably the worst launch I've lived through.
Yeah, but
if you all think about it, go ahead.
But your analysis is in regards to the games that they're showing, not because you bought a PS4 Pro.
No, it's also the fact that it's not that they're the games that they're showing, it's their stance in that clearly both Microsoft and Sony are not going to be pushing brand new next gen exclusive titles. They're kind of dipping their toe in the water. So yeah, like the idea of, even if you just simplify it down to, yes, the ideas of waiting like back in the day until new console came out, because there was a definitive difference between that and the last one.
Hey Brett, don't move away from your phone, bro. You kind of sound far. Yeah.
There's launch games that you want to play. You're excited about a system. It's clearly different than the old system. You wait on it. You go to the store at like 12 o'clock to pick up your fucking pre-order, because that's how you are. You rush home to play it. That's gone. That enthusiasm, that excitement, that oh my god, I can't wait, this is the next generation. Like, that is gone. That's fucking clearly gone. And I don't even think that's debatable. The fact that, like, same games already kind of play the same games. I don't think that I have. Just allowing access to it is going to be diminishing people's excitement. I mean, it's you want what you can't have, and so even if it's against the spirit of the question, like, yeah, obviously, if people can get, PS Pros and not getting anything really new, the next gen, they're gonna be kind of like, I don't really care all that much. And that's the definition of disillusion. So,
all right, what about the rest of you guys? Nobody cares. All right.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Already went.
I said my piece. I don't think the hard. I agree with Carlos. I don't. The hardcore guys aren't gonna. They are not gonna give a fuck. They're gonna buy it. You know.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, it's again like disillusioned with next gen. I guess again, if there's not going to be anything that's going to entice them to buy the next system, then by definition, yeah, there will be. But then at the same time, I I I can see what Microsoft is doing in that they are saying that hey, like there will be next gen games that you can also play on your current gen console. They are essentially just saying like, hey, you don't need to feel the urge to buy our console like out the gate like that. You know, it's not like, hey, you're going to buy into our ecosystem now, and then like 3 months down the road after launch you'll be bored. It's more of a sense of they're saying, hey, you know what, you can carry over what you already have now, and then when you start playing the new stuff, and there's like a lull or like a period when things aren't happening, then you can go back to what you already have, all on the same system, rather than having to balance like the current gen and the next gen at the same time. Just have one system that does both, which I think makes sense. You know,
I still kind of don't see how having iterative consoles kind of causes the disillusion.
To me, the disillusionment comes from bad games or uninteresting games. You know.
Yeah,
and I think it also it's the idea that there won't be anything that takes advantage of next gen just yet, because by the sound of it, everything that is coming out now will be playable on next gen. So hence, again, it's that cross-gen time frame where it's like there's just everything on everything. So hence, it kind of makes no sense to buy the new stuff unless there's stuff for that. And so far, the stuff for the next gen we've seen has just been kind of like more of the same. So hence, it's like, why bother spending like all this extra money on all this extra hardware to play the same games? I think that's where it could come from.
Yeah, I mean, there is. I was going to say there is something to be said about becoming disillusioned by like going, okay, why am I going to buy a new console if I get to play the same games on the last gen systems? Like, what the fuck is the point? I do understand that because I even felt that disillusionment. Because I'm thinking about it, like I kind of was disillusioned with next gen, and this may sound stupid to some of you, but would knock me out of that disillusionment was seeing that Unreal fucking demo. I'm like, oh shit. That's what we're going to get eventually. That gave me hope, at least, you know. But I don't blame anyone if they don't want to buy consoles for the first couple of years. I said that, like, you're probably better off waiting, you know, because we're probably not going to get too much at the beginning, you know. Hopefully, Sony is not really doing that whole Microsoft thing where it's like every game for every system. So hopefully we'll get some actual good, worthy exclusives there, you know. But that may not be for a while, like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever the fuck it's called. That's just going to be a while, you know. And, you know, I'm going to say it. I still think Miles Morales is going to be on PS4. I could be wrong, but I still think it's coming to PS4, you know.
Yeah, I still think so too. But I mean, there's always a possibility. I think that's a 50-50.
I think it'd be stupid, but hey, you know, but what are you going to do? All right, man. Yeah, what's up? What's up?
I think if a person and this is a particular person. I notice that not everyone's going to fit in this category. But if a particular person bought a PS4 and then bought a PS4 Pro and then somehow became critical enough to not want to buy a PS5 because of the quote unquote gap in whatever their expectations were, it's like, I mean, they bought a PS4 Pro. And that shit didn't really provide much.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
The PS4 Pro.
No, he said who.
No.
Who?
Is this a hypothetical person or is this a subtle dig at me?
I was about to say it sounds like fucking bread, bro. Let's just be real here.
Wait, what? Oh no, you could fall in the category. I didn't have you in mind. If you think that's
he is saying if the shoe fits, you better lace that bitch up and get the pepper, baby.
Listen, Brett, I'm saying
hypothetically, if there were a guy just like Brett.
All I'm saying, Brett, is you're not crazy. I was thinking the same thing. Like, this motherfucker's talking about Brett, man.
Brett, I did not have you in mind.
I was
like, yo, my man is right there, man, talking his shit, you know.
Throw down, baby.
And if you were also a tattoo guy,
who lived in Kansas, skinny little Irish guy, hold on.
Not talking about you, Brett. Not talking about you.
Yeah, no.
I'm only saying the shoe fits.
If the glove fits, you must have quit.
And I'm just saying, if you really love Fallout 76 and Dark Souls, but I'm not talking about Brett.
Yo, now that I think about it, it does sound like a dig at Brett. Damn. My bad, Brett. I didn't mean it to be like that.
No worries, bro.
But yeah, like it's just like like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, I don't think if this same person was expecting a major leap from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, like, I don't think it's hard.
Why would that be unreasonable? Like, when as this hypothetical person, I would argue with you that machines that have more power, i.e., PCs, have actually made really inventive new gameplay styles, taking advantage of their superior hardware. So the fact that I'm getting more of the same, or this person is getting more of the same, can probably make you feel a little bit of disillusionment.
Well, the first, someone, okay, this hypothetical person had a PS4 and then bought a PS4 Pro because they knew they were going to get maybe 4K, or they were maybe getting a better frame rate. That's all they were getting. The game was the same, maybe just a little bit the difference. But then from the PS4 Pro, there's just assuming the person has a sane mind and kind of can dissect things pretty decently. Then this same person is like, okay, then I was strong. I was willing enough to buy a $400 console where I know that the only thing that I'm going to get is either a little slightly better frame rate or slightly better textures. And then now,
or hold on, plus upgrading to a 4K TV.
Sure.
That upgrade is important.
Sure, that's fine. But that doesn't fit the mold of my hypothetical person.
No, I mean, a lot of people moved over to 4K TVs. If you bought a TV in the last 5, maybe even 10 years, most likely, it's a 4K TV. And when you buy a 4K TV, immediately you're sitting there with your PlayStation, which doesn't display in 4K and doesn't have the specs of the PlayStation Pro, and you start going, maybe I do want a second one for this room.
I'll add that qualification then to my hypothetical person. So this person bought a new TV and bought a PS4 Pro because they bought a new TV, or because they're like, getting better frame rate or better textures. So when it comes to the PS5, the same person is like, okay, here are the prospects of the PS5. I'm smart enough to dissect. I'm smart enough to not be a person that's like, I'm getting the PS5 because it's Sony. Oh, I'm getting the PS5 because there's one more number to it, and because it's going to be better, and not having any critical thinking. But if this person is critical and logical enough to dissect the fact that this console will not have amazing games at launch, or next gen changing games at launch, but they should be smart enough to know that if I had the excitement to progress to a PS4 Pro, then I should have an excitement to progress to a PS5, because this console is not just a first year console. This is possibly a 10-year console.
Yeah, I think you're kind of, I think you might be discounting. It's not whether or not this hypothetical person is going to buy the console. It's whether or not they're excited for launch. And the way they position themselves, if this hypothetical person just bought all this stuff, why would they be now like, yes, it is the same thing you just spent a bunch of money on, but is there any reason to be excited about that at launch? Because it literally, you just made that jump. So if someone's like, you want to make that jump again? You're like, I mean...
But it's a much bigger...
different games? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay, so... It's pretty much the same thing that I have. I mean, I did just buy this Pro. Honestly, it's just the opposite. Like, I just bought a Pro. Like a pro will be able to handle PS5 games, not as well as a PS5, but definitely better than a PS4. So I'm still middle of the road. Why should I fucking spend the money? I'll wait a year or two. I'll catch it on with a bundle, or I'll catch it on with a sale. The thing is, it makes you not excited about the launch. It makes you not excited about the dropping of the system. Motherfucker, y'all saw how excited I was for the Switch. Y'all saw how I was excited for Breath of the Wild. And I've been that excited over other game launches. Like, you guys can't tell me you're looking at this game launch, and it's not the most boring, unenthusiastic, meh launch you've ever seen.
We don't even know what games are launching.
It's the most boring launch since this gen. You know?
No, I disagree. I vehemently disagree with
vehemently. Oh shit!
Look at you! Look at Carlos!
Yeah, you're the thesaurus in this motherfucker.
Somebody's got a $20 word.
All right, why do you vehemently disagree, sir?
Because we got Knack and we got Killzone Shadowfall, and for the Xbox, what the hell did we get?
Dead Rising 4, I think.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get Halo Infinite, and we're gonna get Miles Morales. That's I don't care what else comes out. That is way better than last year. Or this
shit, I actually can't disagree with that.
What? I think on Xbox you had like Rise Son of Rome, you had Dead.
Oh, you mean the game that inspired everything?
Yeah.
Well, those are games that launch. We don't know.
I would like to remind you guys that Bloodborne dropped around launch.
No, it didn't.
No, it did not.
Brett, we had this discussion before. It came out a year and a half later, man.
It was 2015.
Was it a full year and a half? It felt like the launch window.
No, it was not even the launch window. It was not even the.
They were fucking teasing that shit. They were teasing that shit with the launch.
Yeah, Brett, we had this discussion live on. Yeah, we had this discussion.
No. I'm not disagreeing. I'm sure I'm just forgetting. I'm just saying.
Yes.
That shit was in the sizzle reel for the PS4.
Oh no, it was. I would
say Infamous Second Son was more in the sizzle reel than.
But Infamous Second Son was launched in the launch window.
It was definitely in the launch window.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I would say it's more, but I mean not launch day, but it was.
Yeah, not launch day, launch window. Launch window is pretty much until like mid-February or end of February. You know.
That's fine. I retract my statement. Micro.
Don't worry about this, Brett. We literally had the same conversation about like 2 months ago on air. It's fucking hilarious. We're probably gonna have it again 3 months from now.
I have the brain of a parakeet, and I like to blame it on art, but like apparently the other artists in the room don't have a problem with goldfish brain, so.
Now Manny has a better memory than I do. Fuck, so that's not an excuse.
Manny, how do you get art and the ability to remember stuff? I had to pay a price for my art. I'm dyslexic.
It involves immense amounts of brain power and concentration, which probably means in my older age I'll probably go crazy.
When Miles Morales gets confirmed to be a PS5 standalone exclusive, man, he's gonna be like,
"I told you." Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Episode 255, 12 minutes and 35 seconds.
No, he doesn't know that much.
It'd be like, I told you, motherfuckers, and then Tony would be like, I don't remember that.
Oh man, yes. Rewind the tape.
Like, no, I've been saying it all along. What do you mean? I agreed with you. With you.
And then they'll totally forget that Adam agreed with me.
Yeah, we were the only two. We're the only two. Everybody else is like, nope, DLC. Nope.
Yeah, rewind the tape, man. I'll eat crow if I have to. But of course, as always, I put some. And you know what kind of seasoning I'm gonna put in that shit? Goya, son. Fuck that.
Oh boy.
Goya for life, man.
It's a Hungarian company. Whatever.
It's a Hungarian company, Manuel Goya and shit, or Godfather. You'll have to pry.
It's like Gustavo, like Far Cry Gustavo, fake Latino.
Yeah, you have to pry that Goya from my cold dead hand, son. That Malta and shit.
I put it on my cereal. That shit makes everything taste.
It really does, man.
Fruity Pebbles taste the rainbow.
Fruity even get some adobo and get Fruity Pebbles.
Don't feel no joke.
Oh man.
And
motherfuckers think we're lying about that. I season everything with that shit,
Lipton,
man.
You get those cheap ass Liptons or those cup noodle soups, put some Goya on it and some adobo, forget about it.
Yo, I remember this one time we went, because our friend Mike, right, he loved this one fake ass Mexican restaurant. And for you people who don't know, Mexican restaurants are basically like cater to white people, right? No fucking flavor, right? But he loved.
Like most larger, a lot of the larger Mexican restaurants are usually sort of catered toward white folks, which means that they usually are not very spicy. They're not. Mild is like almost nothing. So.
Yeah. So basically, our boy Mike always liked to go to this place, and we want to hang out with Mike, and well, his now wife Rachel, right? So Manny got to a point where he started bringing a little bit of like adobo seasoning and shit, like a little thing, and he would sprinkle it on it, and he'd be like, "Yo, Tony, check this out. Hey, go ahead, man," and it made this shit taste better,
That's all I needed, man.
Yo.
And I brought the thing is that you buy because adobo, regular ass adobo, will probably give you fucking diabetes or whatever, high blood pressure. It'll give you high blood pressure because there's so much fucking salt in it. But if you get the light one, it's not that bad.
By the way, this is how Manny's real fucking Latino, man. He's carrying around a little ass adobo thing.
Yeah, it was a little adobo about this big,
He pulls it out like in the movie Elf. Remember when the guy pulled up the syrup?
Man. That's it.
Yeah. Spray a little of that stuff on there.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I get it. I'm just sitting there eating, and Manny's like, he just pulls shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, man.
Hey, listen, I always travel with a satchel, or a book bag. So if I know we're gonna go out and eat at what was it? It wasn't Don Quixote's. What was that?
No, place? I forgot the name of that. It was on Austin Street.
Yeah, whatever. That place probably had the worst Mexican food I've ever tasted.
And it's funny about that because one of our boys, one of the Javier brothers, worked there.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is that up the street was the better one. That was Five Burros. That was
that's the good one right there. You don't need to season that shit. That shit's already good. Good. Anyway, we got totally distracted by Sazon.
Some food.
That's it, man. All right, let's move on to the next question, man. Where the fuck are we? Mob hits, man. All right, first question. Do you think with all of these new studios that Microsoft has recently acquired that it's going to push Sony studios to think outside the box and try something new other than your usual Last of Us and God of War? Ho, 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 Riku, I am glad we got you here for this one, bro. See, motherfuckers think that all the Sony studios are just Sony Santa Monica and Naughty Dog. They have a lot of studios, and you know what? Me and Manny have talked about this at length. About how they have a lot of really cool, diverse type of games. So Rico, why don't you regale us about Sony's other studios and their offerings, man?
I mean, well, firstly, we have So the only ones he mentioned was Santa Monica and
Naughty Dog, yeah.
So I mean, the next big fucking PlayStation game we're getting, and the one that's going to basically end, the PS4's life cycle off, was fucking Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch.
Okay. Let me just interrupt you because that's actually not what the question is about. No, because the question is not about the studios. The question is about the type of games that they make, and the fact that the type of games that these studios makes are mostly very similar-esque.
You know what, Riku? I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna just jump right to the point, right? We have games like fucking Concrete Genie, right? We had fucking we got whatchamacallit, the Media Molecule in general. They got Dreams out there. You have fucking a bunch of these like cool. A lot of people don't pay attention because they're like more indie games, but Sony Studios put out a lot of different shit. It's not all just Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us and God of War. So that's why I don't like people making that assumptions. Why would
then these are the main games that they put on stage. Like these are like the games that they show everyone. Like, hey, here are our big guns, and most of the big guns are the same.
Yeah, just like Microsoft's big guns are all the same.
No.
Here's the thing, freaking Brian.
It's
when
not
it comes
the same
to that,
as in like the same type of games. So it's not this.
Brian,
you and I said the same in different contexts. I meant the same as in the very similar feeling. Microsoft games that they show, they're not very similar feeling. Like Gears and Forza, they're very two different types of games.
Halo and Gears, that's it.
Oh no, I agree with that, but things you can't.
And that's what I meant by they're not the same. And this is what the question is saying. Like, do you think that Microsoft having these types of games or these types of studios working on new IPs will push Sony to make other games other than your third person?
Sony already makes other games than those, man. They already do that.
Prove it.
What do you mean prove it? Look at Media Molecule, man. Look at the shit. Look at Tokyo fucking Studio. Japan Studio. They already exist. So Sony doesn't need to diversify that.
Here's the thing.
You mean Dreams that didn't come out like literally this year? You know,
Tokyo Studio.
It's Tokyo Studio. They did Concrete Genie, didn't they? And that was literally a couple months ago.
Is that Tokyo?
Was that Tokyo Studio? But whoever, the point is, Japan Studio.
That's the thing. It's like these games aren't put on main stage, and that's the question. Like
Brian, they didn't talk about the main stage. They exist. They exist. You're moving the goalposts right now.
Let me get the floor for a second here, Brian. Last fucking generation, PlayStation 3, when they did put those things on stage, nobody gave a flying fuck about them. They may have said, "Oh yeah, we respect them," but nobody fucking cared for him. When Sony did go out and fucking do,
and then whose problem is? Then whose fault is that?
That should be the person who's complaining about this' fault. That's because I didn't see people like him complimenting Sony when they were doing something different. So now that
but like, Sony is still doing different things. People just aren't paying attention.
No, they're just not putting it on the front stage.
Yeah,
it's all the difference.
Let me just state my stand on this.
Okay.
PS3 exclusives are way more varied than PS4 exclusives, in my opinion.
No, you're right about that.
The PS3 exclusives list, they blow the crap out of PS4 exclusives. They were making games off everything. You had like third-person shooters, you had arcade racing, you had simulation racing, you had first-person shooters. These days, Sony exclusives are just bland.
Prior to
and then that's the crux of this question. He's saying that the main stage PS4, PlayStation exclusives, they're mostly the same mold. They don't have any variation. He didn't
say anything about main stage in this.
Here's the thing. Here's the only same.
He mentioned Last of Us and God of War. These are like the main stage games.
Yeah, but he didn't use that term, Brian.
Let me say this about the games.
This is what he literally says.
He didn't say. Did I read the question wrong? It didn't say main stage anywhere in there, bruh.
He is literally saying like The Last of Us and God of War, which are known to be their main guns, their big titles.
All right.
And how many of those did we get this generation? The Last of Us and God of War.
Sorry?
How many Last of Us and God of War games did we get this generation?
You got one of each, but pretty much, again, it's not about how many you get, it's the fact that the games that they make are very similar-esque. Like Uncharted, Last of Us. Okay, Riku, let me answer this question, right? I'm thinking of a Sony exclusive, which is a third-person shooter, which is an action-adventure game with stealth elements. Which game am I talking about?
Uncharted and Last of Us and Horizon.
That's the point. They all seem to be, they mostly fit the same mold, and that's the crux of this question.
How's that God of War?
God of War, it's pretty much
the only thing like I've been trying for like the past 5 minutes. The only similarities that all of these games have is they have a part in there where you're walking and talking, and a lot of people don't like the walking and talking simulator portions used in those things. And sure, they may be fucking first person, but guess what? I mean third person, but guess what? When we did have a first person, what did everybody do? They fucking threw it out the window. Nobody wants fucking Killzone anymore except for me. Now we have Horizon. Everyone's fucking happy. And now niggas want to complain? What? I was the main person that's like, please give me another Killzone. They're like, no, fuck Killzone. Let's go back to Horizon.
Well, it's more like let's go forward to Horizon.
Either way,
let's go sideways.
Let's settle down with them.
Like I said, the only similarities they have is that right there. The fact that
the only similarity is that mostly all the exclusives are classed as third-person action adventure games with stealth elements. That's a really weird but specific type of game.
Someone's always going to complain because back in the PS3 days when we did have that, during that time, everybody was complaining about these games don't interest me, blah 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 blah. That's literally all I was hearing that entire generation. Then we get to this generation, and now we have the other side. Someone's always going to complain about something.
You don't seem to want to answer the question, which is.
I did answer the question.
No. You didn't answer the question. All you said is that people are just complaining. The question is,
if you want to answer, no.
Is Microsoft acquiring the studios going to force Sony to venture out from the typical type of games that they are making?
From a software standpoint, Microsoft has never been able to change Sony's opinion on what they create ever. So no. If you want your answer, no.
Okay, yeah. That is an answer. My thoughts? No. Because these games sell like crap ton and the mass market tend to buy them and then they don't really ask for anything else. So no, they won't.
Like I said, yeah, we had all of you. You had your variety last gen. Where were you last gen? Or the gen before that? Or even on the fucking Vita. We had a shit ton of variety there, but you guys the Vita every fucking day. They gave you fucking variety. You know, where's the games? Yeah, because niggas, the only things people bought on the fucking Vita was Uncharted Golden Abyss, Persona, and then they threw it to the side. They said, fuck everything else. Oh yeah, there's a hell of a variety on there. Nobody gave a shit. And now that they don't want to give you variety, now niggas want to complain. You see this shit?
I love it.
Yo, Riku. So, do you hate Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, I like Horizon Zero Dawn. I just like Killzone more.
Okay.
I've always liked Killzone is my favorite
first person. Yo, Riku.
Yo.
You got that plat though?
Yeah.
My man.
I probably got the Platinum Horizon faster than anybody here.
I'm actually, because I got the game early, I may have gotten it earlier.
If that's the case, sure. Yeah.
By the way, that's still a point of pride for me. I got the Platinum in Spider-Man before it even released. You know.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
You got me there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, again, my answer is like those games are still out there. You motherfuckers ain't looking. You know, Sony's doing their thing, man.
Yeah. Like I said, they just don't put it on. The only game that you really see on the in the front that's not like that, I guess, is Ratchet and Clank. But that's
Gran Turismo. I don't know why everyone seems to forget Gran Turismo exists.
It really does.
Everybody was cutting me off. I said Gran Turismo while Tony was mentioning Concrete Genie.
And Brian, we didn't forget. We just knew you were going to mention it. So,
I mean, they're still making the same game after all these years. I'm just saying, because I know that some people like to say that Microsoft makes the studios make the same game. It's like you literally have a studio that's made the same game for like 4 generations of the console.
There's a difference between same franchise and same game.
Gran Turismo has pretty much been the same.
I'm talking about like overall. Like I would rather what we're getting from Sony, which is they may feel a little samey here and there, but Spider-Man plays nothing like God of War. They may have their little walking. They may have
definitely disagree with you there, Riku.
He disagrees with you, Riku. Excuse me.
There is no web swinging, counter attacks, or air combos in God of War, and that's the main combat gameplay in Spider-Man. They do not play the same in any way, shape, or form.
But the overall structure is still mostly the same, right? It's a third-person action game. No, it's a third-person action game with some stealth elements, and that's the problem.
No, that's not.
No. That is the problem. Like this is why people say that Sony has a formula for the games, because they do.
Like I said,
and they all end up feeling mostly the same.
Because of the walking simulator parts, like Torrance Davis.
Why are you bringing Torrance into this? Like, I'm literally saying that, hey, this is what, again, I've talked to people and this is what they say. Like, yeah, they feel like this is just this is the Sony formula. This is why people have coined that term, because the Sony games end up feeling mostly the same. Yes, they can vary on a low level. It's like, oh, but this game has Spider-Man in it, where you can web string. With Horizon Zero Dawn, there's like creatures to ride. It's like, yes, those things do change things, but fundamentally, it's the same. Whereas if you're looking at, again, the big 3 for Microsoft, Halo, Gears, and Forza, very different. Halo is nothing like Gears of War in any sense, apart from maybe you shoot guns. One's first person, one's third person. One's sci-fi with like marines and stuff. One's not so much. Again, they feel different. Again, even if you want to say, okay, cool, you know what? They're mostly the same because you shoot stuff and there's aliens. Those 2 games and Forza, you can't even compare them to any level. There's no comparison to be made apart from you play them with a controller and they're on Microsoft systems.
What about Brett's favorite game?
What, Sea of Thieves?
No, Dreams.
I don't know. That's Brett's to talk to. But I'm saying that Microsoft gives games that tend to be more diverse than Sony, and that's what this guy is saying in his question. He feels like the Sony games feel mostly the same, whereas Microsoft games tend to be more out there at the moment.
Microsoft is going to have to get more than just 3 diverse games, because
that's why they got all these studios, because they know it.
We can only see what the future holds for Microsoft in regards to continuing this variety that everybody wants to jack off from these 3 games. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Showing front floor.
Riku, man.
Okay. I don't know why this is even a debate. Like, Microsoft, dude, Microsoft clearly has more diversity in their games, and that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. Sunset Overdrive clearly fucking flopped. It was an experimental game that did not do well, but Microsoft does do that. They reach out. I'm not going to say that Spider-Man and God of War are the same game, no, because they're both clones of a different game. One is a clone of the typical Resident Evil 4 that PlayStation is known for, and another one is the open world roaming checkpoints that Sony is also known for. So while they're not the same game, they're both in the same thematic vein that everybody's used to Sony making. And Sony does do that. It's like Pixar. Pixar makes different kinds of movies, but they're all kind of Pixar movies. Microsoft just does weird shit sometimes. And again, that's not always a good thing. But like, I don't understand why it's even a debate. Like, does Microsoft reach more? Yeah, and because I know this because as Sony fans, we sometimes make fun of what the fuck was that even? What were you even trying to do there, Microsoft? They just do weird shit. Sony tries in their own way. I mean, man, they put out a PSVR system, but in terms of the general structure of the game and whatnot, no, man. It's Sony games are Sony games. They're always going to be Sony games. I don't see Sony doing anything wildly experimental. Especially not with a first-party game.
Yeah, Dreams and God of War exactly the same, man. Concrete Genies, just like Horizon Zero Dawn, you know.
Is Dreams a first-person game? Is that a first-party game?
Yes, it is. It's Mutant Molecule, man. That's a Sony studio.
PS1 days, they were widely experimental. They've been.
Yeah, but let's keep it to current, man. Let's keep it to current. You know.
I think we're talking about Sony though. We're talking about he wants to talk about the future. I want to talk about the president of the past.
Well, if you talk about the president of the past, Sony clearly wins. You know, that's not even in question.
In regards to overarching variety, if you want to consider everything that Sony puts out, not just the ones they put on the front floor, they do have more variety than just the 3 games that fucking Microsoft brings to the table.
Oh, I agree with that. You know, it's just motherfuckers ain't looking.
It's not just those 3 games, though, Riku. Like if we're talking history too, like. Who launched the Mass Effect series? Who launched that entire type of game and brought RPGs into the forefront of modern gaming? That was fucking Microsoft. They weren't the ones that had the open world system. They were the ones that had the Dragon's Age system. And they exploited the fuck out of it. That's what eventually made Mass Effect. Like, both systems have a history of creating new content. It's just...
That was BioWare, by the
way. I would think a better example is Fable, since Mass Effect is multi-platform now, so I wouldn't really bring. I understand where you're coming from in regards to bringing. Now. Yeah, I understand multi-platform now. I'm just saying in regards for Microsoft in the future.
I wouldn't give any BioWare game to Microsoft.
Fable, I would say Fable is a better example in regards.
That's like saying Microsoft popularized modern shooting games because Call of Duty was mostly played on Xbox. That's not a good argument, you know.
Because it launched exclusively on the system, then yeah, I would give them credit for it.
No, you can give them credit for it. What I'm saying is that in regards to the question, in regards to the future, can't use Mass Effect. Can use Fable though. Can't use BioShock either. But because that falls.
Okay, well, if we're keeping it forward looking, Riku, then we're keeping it forward looking. That's got to be consistent. You can't bring up PS1 and then say
that's why I'm trying to keep it either current or forward because we got to stay focused here. You know.
Well, I was talking about overarching variety, and all of the games from the past are still exclusive now, unless you want to talk about PC.
And I was making the exact same point with Microsoft, bro.
Yeah, to be fair, Riku, that's exactly what he was doing, man.
I'm saying it's not the same if it's not exclusive anymore. So no, it's not the same.
So that means that you can't count Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, like I said, I don't really care about Horizon Zero Dawn anyway. But I was talking about.
But Riku, come on, man.
If you said that it's not like if the game has not gone if the game has stopped being exclusive, then it can't count. Then by default, Zero Dawn doesn't count.
But that hurts your argument, Brian, because you're the one that mentioned it during your sizzle reel of games that repeat each other.
Yeah, I remember said I'm not the person jacking off Horizon Zero Dawn.
No, I'm just making clear that also cannot be used in that argument if your phone.
No, I won't. But you know why? Because there's a large quantity of PlayStation games to fucking say other than just Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, sure, you can throw that inside the same category as Mass Effect as well. Don't care. There's still a lot.
Okay, Ricky, like I don't understand. Like you'll knock down one argument because it's about Microsoft, and then say the exact same thing about PlayStation.
What did I say the exact same thing? Say what? What did I say that was the exact same thing?
Okay, so when you said okay, you'll give up Horizon Zero Dawn, they have a lot of other games. I literally just said that. Like that was one of my arguments that like yes, okay, Mass Effect started on Xbox, but I say other examples.
I said a lot of the games to choose from that we know of in current gen and moving forward. In regards to Microsoft and the new studios that they have, they're gonna have to prove in regards to quality and quantity that they can even make Sony consider changing whatever the fuck they're doing now.
And what is Sony releasing that's ingenuitive?
You say what? Say it again.
What is Sony releasing that's ingenuitive or inventive?
What's Microsoft doing, man?
I mean, I don't think either of them are. I'm just saying, if you want to make Sony move, you're gonna have to do something to make them move. That's why I said no.
Sony.
Huh?
That's why I said no to the question.
Sword? What? Hold on. You were talking to each other. What'd you say, Brett?
You said Hellblade?
Tony, the answer to your question is Senua. That's what Microsoft is doing.
That's not innovative, though.
Wait, are you talking about Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice?
Yeah. But by the way, Brett, that's just me. That's my dig at you because you always bring up that whole argument like, oh, this is not innovative. Like, you should toss out the whole innovation. Nobody is innovative. You know?
That's my whole argument, is that nothing is innovative.
Yeah. I'm glad you finally agree with me.
No, I
argument the whole time.
Yeah.
Nothing is innovative.
No, I was saying in regards to variety.
Yeah.
Overarching variety. That's what I was saying, not innovation, because obviously that's
a whole other argument right there.
That's low-key subjective.
We have a handful of exclusive games, and of course they're coming out with their big hitters. Like that's,
like I said, I want to see.
Time will tell.
These new companies, because that's all these Microsoft guys have been doing this entire generation.
Shit.
Looking at the blind future just to be disappointed and looking further into the blind future.
I'm centrist. I'm sitting here. I was like, Xbox is nothing they're coming out with. I know this for a fact. They confirmed it. And then I look at the PlayStation guys, and I'm like, PlayStation also has nothing really great coming out. They're not being innovative, and they've got a fucking attitude. So I have a choice between bad and possibly worse. And I don't know. I just have to figure out which one is which. But either way, it's a shit fucking deal. So
I just find it rather hypocritical. Not any people here, just a decent
hypothetical man. Hypothetical man.
Hypocritical, where people are whining about Sony doing quote unquote samey or doing the same franchise or whatnot, when Nintendo's been doing that for this entire fucking what?
Nintendo is the most diverse system of any of them by a wide margin.
Yeah, Ricky,
I'm talking about new IPs. They barely come out with any new IPs.
It's Astral Chain last year, new IP. I think they had a couple of new IPs. Like, okay, give me a second while I find them.
They launched with ARMS. I enjoyed that game.
Yep, ARMS launched came there. Like, I don't think it's fair to even comment on how diverse Nintendo's exclusives are, because they are really quite something else. I mean, they have card games, brawler games, open world games, Pokemon games. Like, they are like the king of diverse, like, first party games. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Sony doesn't even have, again, like, Sony doesn't have a big RPG game like that. They have games with RPG mechanics in them, but not a big RPG game.
Yo, Riku, where that White Knight Chronicles at, son?
They don't have a big first-person shooter game anymore. Like Haze dropped out, Killzone, they pretty much stopped that. Like, these games were both touted as Halo killers, and yet we're getting a Halo Infinite this year, and both those franchises are no more. So
I thought the thing that launched this whole the latest part of the discussion was the whole, not the diverse part, but the innovative part.
Is that how we're gonna pronounce that fucking name? Like, word now, innovative.
That's how the British do it.
It's innovative.
Innovative.
No, Brian, can you concur?
See, I'm not going to make things even funnier.
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
by the way, I don't know what the hell we were talking about, but people in the chat seem to like the conversation, so I'm just going to keep letting it go. You know?
Here's the thing. Okay, sure.
I said my piece. I'm like, yo, you want those diverse games from Sony? Sony's been putting them, but you motherfuckers ain't paying attention.
Real quick,
no, I would say, no, definitely Nintendo is number one when it comes
Fuck
to
Nintendo, man.
I'm saying in regards to like the games they put at the forefront, you see Mario and Zelda and Smash Brothers and Pokemon. All of those diverse games, they're in the backgrounds. I mean, to be honest, ARMS success-wise kind of flopped, and the reason they put an ARMS character in fucking Smash was to try and bring ARMS back to relevancy. Yeah.
By the way, you guys know how I feel about Nintendo. I'm not a fan, but I got to give them props. They have put out Splatoon, which is a new franchise, which is very successful.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, and that came out last gen.
Yeah.
Not this gen.
I think that what Sony and Microsoft do way better than Xbox does is it has its base. It's really significant, and they create experiences. While they may not be innovative,
innovative.
It's.
By the way, I'm not gonna say that shit like a fucking asshole. It's innovative, man. Anyway, go ahead.
They're experiences that are what is it? What's the term? Are socially accepted by their core fan base. You know, the God of Wars, the fucking Marios, the Zeldas, the Animal Crossings, now the Spider-Mans and Horizons, and those games. You know, they know what sells, and the unfortunate part is that Microsoft had those games. They had the Gears, the Halos, the Forzas,
bring back Blinks,
Fables,
Fable.
So like, but for some reason, I don't know what the hell Microsoft did. I think they dropped the ball. Like those games. Why there is no reason why Gears isn't as big of a franchise as it used to be. You know, why is God of War still as relevant as it was 10 years ago while Gears isn't?
Well, no, the thing everybody knows the reason why God of War is popular.
Because they did a reboot where they dropped the original gameplay and they adopted gameplay similar to Uncharted. They went down that route. In other words, they took a franchise that was something, they stripped it off its gameplay that it had, and made it follow the gameplay of the formula. That's why it's.
But here's the thing about God of War, right? What was the game that came up prior to God of War 2018? What did everyone say about that?
Essentially,
it was mad.
Yes, more of the same. Everyone's considering this the worst God of War, and this one is probably going to kill the franchise. It's probably the last God of War that we're going to see, and all of that stuff. And from a fucking gameplay standpoint, God of War Ascension really didn't do anything, wrong in regards to all of the God of Wars that came prior to it. And to be honest, when it comes to like the Nintendo games, yeah, they have all the diversity and whatnot. But honestly, in regards to new IPs of them, like per generation, it's not as much as Sony. And the ones that they do release, like I said, they don't really do as well as you guys think they do. And the ones that they put at the forefront are, kind of get the same treatment as, God of War Ascension. The only difference is, just haven't really been negative on the same Mario game that comes out. That doesn't really change. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is kind of different, but I'll give them that. But a lot of their top tier Nintendo games that they put at the forefront aren't really different from all of the shit in its particular franchise prior to it.
Can I just point out that Splatoon did 2 million sales?
No, I'll give you Splatoon.
That was like again, like you wouldn't say that the game flopped. Like the thing did 2 million sales. Like
you just said he gave you Splatoon.
Like I said, I gave you Splatoon, but the only ones I've been hearing you guys say is Splatoon and ARMS. You're gonna have to give them more than that.
Astral Chain is not a first party game. Dirt.
Yeah, because if you're gonna bring in Astral Chain, we're gonna bring in Persona 5.
Persona.
Exactly. Want to talk about turn-based JRPG? There you go. Exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's move on. Got one more question here.
Persona 5 is on the Switch now.
All right. One more thing. We gotta move on. Go ahead. Last thing.
Why does it matter?
Because we got asked the fucking question. That's why.
No, I know. I'm just saying, if you guys want to go through a catalog, tit for tat, mark this and mark that, like, Riku, you are bending over backwards to try and support that Sony's games are diverse and innovative, and they're fucking not.
First of all, never said innovative. But yeah, in regards to quantity and diversity, yeah. And honestly, when it comes to these type of conversations, yeah, you do have to get to the nitty picky type of shit because people only want to talk about the forefront.
You got a point there.
No, that is true.
Okay,
no, he's right. Yeah.
If we don't want to talk about the forefront, okay, that's fine. But like, Sony still has first party single player narrative driven detail supported games. Like that is what they do. That is everything that they do in a nutshell. Microsoft takes a more arcade approach.
That's what they're known for. I wouldn't say that's all they do because they do a lot of other shit, Brett. Come on now.
No, they do some other stuff, but that's if they're putting a big amount of money into something, I fucking guarantee you it's going to be a third-person action adventure game. Just because Sony plays it safe.
Yeah, but to be fair, most studios do that, you know.
So doesn't it?
And I'm not saying they
Mario and Zelda. What I'm saying is that you might as well complain about Nintendo too.
Yeah, and Microsoft opened up the Coalition 343.
Shout out to the Coalition.
But hold on, Riku. See, that's the thing that gets me. If we're talking about Sony, nobody's talking about Nintendo. Like this isn't a whataboutism contest, right? Like we're not trying to jump on sides and say things like you can say something negative about Sony without having to say also something negative about Nintendo, or even honestly bring them into discussion. That is generally whataboutism, and it's a failed tactic. Like it's that's the kind of tactic that you use when you know you're wrong.
No. When it comes to complaining about Sony, if you want me to complain about Sony, I can do it for the rest of the night. But in regards to that specific topic, no, I don't have anything to complain about. I just genuinely disagree with the shit that is being said. But no,
then disagree without bringing Mario into it, man.
I think
I can't. No, I can't because I just feel it's a contradiction.
But see the thing, like we're talking about something in a vacuum, right? Like we're not talking about it in comparison to Nintendo. And
we're comparing it to Microsoft. You were just comparing it to Microsoft.
The question did have Microsoft.
After you
were. No. The topic. No, the question is comparing it to Microsoft. So we were already in the topic of conversation of comparing companies to each other. I'm just bringing another company into the conversation. We're already comparing. Are we not? Or are we only talking about Sony here?
No, the question does have Microsoft. To be fair, the question does have Microsoft.
Guys are talking about Microsoft and its diversity, and that is comparison.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like we can't bring Nintendo into the mix. Like,
why not?
Because it's going down a rabbit hole. It's going to take us fucking forever, and then we find ourselves nitpicking categories of games that in a system that we never even talked about. Like the main idea here is like
that's the topic of conversation.
Can we just agree?
Diversity and variety.
So you think that there is no difference between the type of games Microsoft releases, the types of games Sony releases? You think they just kind of all release all kinds of games?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that Microsoft, in regards to the question and saying that, do you think Microsoft can make Sony change in any type of way, shape, or form? I'm saying that Microsoft needs to get on Nintendo and Sony's level in regards to quantity and quality to even consider them changing anything to anybody. They need to get their shit together first before they can change anybody else's, because Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo they're doing just fine with the shit that they're doing. Isn't it? Microsoft can catch up. And in regards to the small games that everyone says that they're talking about, they have variety in it. It's a small fucking pool to pull from in regards to the large pool that Nintendo and Microsoft and fucking Sony has. Obviously, in regards to the percentages and variety and the shit is gonna be, you're gonna see a higher variety in the smaller, fucking library that they have. And what I'm saying is that get that library in regards to quantity up to the other two, and then we can fucking talk about this shit more.
Oh, it sounds like in quantity, can somebody give me a number tally of the exclusives announced by Sony and Microsoft at this point? I'm just curious who's actually announced more.
Oh shit!
Because And if we're talking about
or what exactly? As in,
how many exclusives?
Next gen or just in general?
Next gen. How many next gen exclusives have been announced for each system?
Oh, Microsoft doesn't have any. Microsoft doesn't have any.
They haven't made that announcement yet.
No,
I'm saying Microsoft doesn't have any, man. They don't have any exclusives. They don't. They have games all over a bunch of consoles and on PC. So technically, they don't have exclusives anymore.
And pretty soon.
Okay.
So Sony has more exclusives by default.
PlayStation. Okay, let's.
I'm being an asshole, by the way. But I'm correct though. You know, just
you're technically right. That's the best kind of right. But for the sake of argument, let's just say if it's only on PC and Xbox, it's a Microsoft exclusive because it's a Microsoft exclusive. All right.
Whatever, man.
Whatever fits your narrative, brother.
Is it not? Does it work on? Half these games don't work on Linux. They don't work on anything.
I'll give you that because I mean, if you want to like pull in from their quantity, like you got to pull it from. You gotta have something, right?
Yeah.
What happened to Adam?
Yeah, he's still there, man. He's chilling.
Yo, Adam died, yo.
He just got tired of the conversation.
We no good.
This shit was whack.
Yo, to be honest, I'm getting tired of this fucking thing. Let's move on, man. I'm ready.
That was the last question.
Yeah, this is the last one, so let's go into it, man. This one's a nice and simple one. I think we may have answered it before. We got Rico here, so he'll give us a different answer. What was your first experience playing a multiplayer game on a console, and how did it change since then? Let me just read this thing. What was your experience playing online for the first time on a console, and how has it changed since then, good or bad?
Let me start first, and let me bring up Nintendo.
Damn.
Really, Nintendo? The first time on a multiplayer console?
It's a joke, Brian.
Jeez, I had a heart attack then. I'm like, what? Like,
no, I was
game was online way back then, Colin.
Exactly, I was interested in what the fuck he was gonna say too. I was like, Nintendo.
No, because Brian was talking about why you guys bringing up Nintendo and stuff like that.
Rico, you go, man. Hey, people like the joke, Carlos. Hey, Carlos, that's a joke I actually got, man. Good for you, man.
You were the only one.
Yeah. Yeah, usually Brian's the one.
I'm Rico's on one.
The only one.
I'm the only one. In regards to the first game I played online multiplayer, I think it was I can't remember which one I played first, but it was either Star Wars Battlefront 1 on the PlayStation 2 or Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal on the PlayStation 2. One of those two. But I don't know. For some reason, when I first started playing online, I was scared. I don't know why. I was like, oh God, I'm playing against real people all across the world. I don't know if I can do this. So it was. I don't know. For some reason, little Rico was a little nerve wracking. PS3 era when I was playing, the Killzones and the Resistance and Warhawk and whatnot, I was feeling it. I liked multiplayer games. This generation, the first couple of games like Shadowfall and Destiny, I guess, and whatnot, I was still in there, but now that I play a lot more retro games and JRPGs, it kind of fell off of multiplayer, so I don't really like.
Yo, shout out to Illustrated Dio, man, for the bits, brother. Appreciate that.
I am looking forward to whenever
Dio.
The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer comes out, but in regards to multiplayer games from Sony in the future, it's looking rather fucking bleak. And you got us paying this PlayStation Plus for these bougie ass free games that you're giving us every fucking month. But you want to fucking lock the multiplayer behind a paywall when the first party, I'm shitting on Sony right now. Your fucking first party games aren't giving us the multiplayer games that you lock your fucking PlayStation Plus wall behind. I don't fucking like that. So, that's something that they really need to get their shit together. Bringing back some of the first party multiplayer games. Because like I said, we had fucking Killzone. We don't have that anymore. And now I'm hearing rumors about Horizon Forbidden West, whatever the fuck it's called. Horizon 2. Yeah, I'm hearing rumors that it'll have multiplayer, but that's just fucking rumors. We need more first party multiplayer Sony games if they want to sit here and latch the multiplayer behind a paywall. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah. But the future is looking bleak from a first party multiplayer standpoint. I'm falling off of multiplayer. The only games that the only game I look forward to this year that has multiplayer is that Gundam, baby. But everything else, no.
Rico, you just mentioned the game. They need to bring back
Warhawk, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. Even if it's just a Warhawk remaster, I don't give a fucking shit. I'll fucking pay PlayStation Plus I'll play it for the whole goddamn generation. If you bring fucking Warhawk Remastered with the DLC, we in that bitch.
Yo, by the way, shout out to name's fucking blue. Hammer Fist Revolution, aka Jose. Manny, that's your brother. He gave us some bits, man.
Oh man, you got some bits? Where you
puto.
You causing trouble?
Yeah, we'll keep the rest of us kind of quick because we actually have answered this question in the past about your first multiplayer game. For me, my first multiplayer game was Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3. And for the first 5 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, this thing is fucking crazy. We're just running around killing each other. 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, this is fucking boring. We're just running around killing each other. And that's pretty much been my multiplayer experience for the entire fucking time, you know?
You're more of a co-op person, aren't you, Tony?
Yes. Monster Hunter, baby. You already know.
Because I remember last time we hopped on here and I was like, you don't really play like multiplayer games. And then you were like, you know, the games you were listing off were like for the most part co-op. Other than like, I guess, yeah, other than Destiny, but you played a decent amount.
That's half co-op if you really want to be real about it.
I'm just talking about a game that has multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
And then I was talking about from a competitive standpoint, and then you mentioned Destiny, and I was like, I feel the only reason you say Destiny is because of the fact that it had a pretty decent co-op.
The only reason, but to be fair, the only reason I played the competitive part of Destiny is because you get more party members into that shit. Because if you're playing co-op, you can only play with 2 other people, I believe. Yeah, but if you're playing, with a Crucible, right? You could have 8 people. You know, it's like, all right, we got to get 8 people in this motherfucker. You know, but generally speaking, no, I'm not a competitive gaming. The only competitive game I really fucked with a lot was Street Fighter 4 when I first came out. I was in that bitch tearing motherfuckers up. You know,
really?
Yeah, man. It was Street Fighter. You already know, man. But but I fell off for about a month. Came back. These dudes went to a whole other level. I was like, I can't fuck with these guys anymore.
That shit will fucking happen. You know. So in regards to the future, there is no competitive multiplayer game that fancies you.
Absolutely not. That's not my thing. I don't give a fuck about competitive multiplayer. I haven't played competitive multiplayer in years. It's not my thing. I don't give a fuck about that. You know, I like co-op multiplayer. You know,
I'm with you there. I like me some co-op. But I do at least like to have at least one competitive multiplayer game that I could just turn out on and beat a motherfucker's ass in. If it's just one, I'm fine. I don't need to be having like 4 or 5 or 6. No, just one.
Yeah, no, I don't have the urge for that. You know, just get.
Leveling my character.
What happened, Brett?
I said, what's the point of leveling my character if I can't use it to beat the shit out of other players?
Again, speaking about co-op, I will be playing some Demon Souls with Brett and Chris, man.
Hey,
you already know. All right. Again,
this is gonna be our Demon Soul Sherpa.
Yeah. Again, just keep it a little bit short so we answer this before. Brett, what's your first multiplayer game?
What was it? The mouse game on fucking Dreamcast, Choo Choo Rocket.
Choo Choo Rocket, bringing it back, man.
Choo Choo Rocket. Interesting.
Right. Cool. All right. Adam, what was yours?
My first multiplayer game?
Yeah.
A local or online?
Online, bro.
Online competitive.
Online competitive. Ghost Recon.
Of course.
Oh shit!
That was on Xbox when they launched Xbox Live when they were doing it. Next, no, forget it. No, it was Medal of Honor on PC because I was doing that version already on PC. So I was thinking a console. First console.
Yeah, that's the answer because
console on Xbox. Yeah, Ghost Recon.
Yeah, that's the question was for console. All right. Yeah. Brian. Mr. Brian.
Right, PlayStation 4, The Last of Us.
PlayStation, The Last of Us, the greatest multiplayer.
What'd you say?
What was your first online multiplayer console game that you played?
It was back in the days when SOCOM had diverse exclusives. It was SOCOM 2.
Oh, man.
And Riku can't say shit because he knows that the PS2 days of Sony were the shit.
Oh yeah, they were fucking.
Oh, no one's gonna. We said that many times, Riku. I don't know if you've been here for this episode. We kind of, except for Brett, obviously, agree that the PlayStation 2 had the best lineup of any console ever.
Oh, I disagreed.
Oh, you said? What'd you say? Xbox did?
Carlos? It was for me. It's either 360 or SNES.
Yeah. SNES is my second one. If I had to choose one, SNES.
That's my team.
Ooh, SNES, Carlos, boy.
Back me up.
For me, oof.
Yeah, but we're not. But that's a whole other conversation.
My answer to Carlos.
Yeah.
360. My man.
Manny, first multiplayer game on a console.
Was Metal Gear Online on the PlayStation 2?
Oh, for 3, right?
I actually had the no for PlayStation 2.
No, it was Metal Gear Solid 3 though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Metal Gear Solid 3.
There we go. All right.
Metal Gear Online, the first version of Metal Gear Online was on the PlayStation 2, and I played that, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like same thing you had. The same thing you had the thing with was like, yeah, okay, we're killing each other. I'm like, dude, what is this? This is garbage.
Quick side note.
It's not even. Oh, God.
Oh, my bad. Did you guys play Metal Gear Online for the Metal Gear 4?
Carlos, didn't you hear what I fucking said?
That's what he just said.
Oh, well, I said you guys, plural.
Oh, yeah, together, yeah, we played.
Yeah,
and we were both like, eh.
We played it.
That shit.
We played it to get We played it to get the what was it, the item?
That's right.
The item that could literally, you could stab somebody with it and it would literally show every single person on the map.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, Manny and I are Manny and I are pretty much the same when it comes to online multiplayer competitive games. We're like, whatever.
Nah, I mean, I'm not, as far as competing goes, I've never been good at most competitive sort of games, and I find them incredibly frustrating. I don't like getting my ass whipped all the damn time, so I just like, you know what? I don't care. And I don't get anything out of winning either. I'm like, okay, we won. What does this mean? What do I get?
That's my thing. It's like, because it is, again, I'm talking for myself, pointless, right? My whole thing is like, I don't do badly. It's just like, even if I win, it's like, what's the point of this? What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, what? Like, it's nice to know that sometimes, very rarely do they actually have online games that actually affect your actual, the stuff that you can take back, or the stuff that you can take from your main game you can take into the game. Most games don't even do that.
Yeah.
So like you earned all those guns in the Uncharted game, right? You got to re-earn them all again online.
Man, I remember how mad I was, man, when they announced multiplayer for Uncharted. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I was mad, man.
Yeah,
I was hype, baby.
Yeah, notice it. Yeah, and it's like, whatever.
Uncharted 2 was fun as shit.
So,
yeah,
I think the game is fun. I think the game is fun, but I just don't get any pleasure from getting killed or winning or anything online, because to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, everybody in that room could probably be a computer, and it wouldn't be a damn thing. So
crazy. All right, I think
the only thing I actually do specifically like as an online experience is co-op. And I have to say the best, and I'll still say this, the best online co-op ever is Gears of War, the original one, where you can literally, there was nothing to it, just get online, jump in, jump out, there you go. And also a really good experience was Resident Evil 5 that had that too.
You know why Gears of War had the best co-op campaign? What does it have, Tony?
Gears of War or jump in, jump out? By the way, I've never played Gears of War online, so I have absolutely no idea.
Oh man, God, there's the roadie run.
Oh, the roadie run. Yeah, the Adams is shit. Yeah, the roadie run. By the way, Illustrated Dio is. Here's a quick question: Has nobody played Quake 2 multiplayer?
No, not Quake 2.
I mean, if we're talking about Quake, I mean, like a lot of us. When did Quake come out?
It's like late 90s, mid 90s. Let me see. I'll look this up.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this: if it was
97.
Yeah, think about it.
I had just gotten a computer, my own computer. I think 96 or 97. I just got my normal computer. My computer can run fucking Quake, let alone even being able to go online.
Yeah, dude, think about it. I didn't play my first online game until late 2008.
Jeez.
I mean, I could probably say.
Oops, I'm sorry. Mid 2008 when Metal Gear came out June, I believe. So yeah, 2008. That's when I first played online.
I guess Metal Gear Online 3 was Metal Gear Online and Metal Gear Solid 3 was the first time. I did play Diablo once with Adam online.
Diablo.
And that's about it. That's about it. But I mean, again, I couldn't just. I'm like,
You can burn anything.
I like the co-op part, but again, we're on dial-up in those days. You know what I mean? Like I shared my brother could tell you this. We all shared online. My dad was paying for America Online, and literally, like, if any one of us was on, the other one couldn't get off. You know, none of us could log in. So, like, if my brother was online doing something, he couldn't. I couldn't get online. Same thing with my dad. So, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, man. All right, good.
That's why I go. Yeah. That's why I would go on late at night, like this.
That's the only time you could go. You know.
12 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, because then I know, at least my brother and my dad were asleep.
All right, cool, man. All right, so we're going to wrap it up with a couple of things before we leave you, man. So, again, I want you guys to watch out for our new contest, which we're going to be giving away a free copy of Ghost of Tsushima. So, I'm going to put out a video that's going to detail everything, but the rules are going to be the same as always. We're going to have a question on our Twitter, which is @Throwdown Show. Something simple, and you only really need to answer the question. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch, and, we'll draw your name at random on Thursday for episode 293 of Throwdown, and we'll give you your copy, which will probably be digital, but we'll send you a physical one too if you want, anywhere in the world. But again, the video will have all the details. And also, I want to quickly plug me and Carlos's Halo 2 playthrough, actually. You can check that out. That's up over on Twitch. We'll have it up on...
You're going to say walkthrough?
Yeah, no, it is a walkthrough, I guess, in a way. It's up on Twitch at the moment in 2 parts. We ran through the entire game, the one on the Master Chief Collection, and I'll have it up on YouTube. I'm gonna do you guys a favor. I'm actually gonna squeeze it all into one video, one 5-hour long video. Watch us play through the game and watch me experience it for the first time. Halo 2 is fucking dope. That's all I gotta say about that. And Manny, do you need to plug anything?
No, other than Excellence coming out, and on toward the 19th of we're gonna have a little something special, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome, Adam. Got to plug anything?
No, just we have another WrestleCast that's out for the Fight for the Fallen. So if you want to check that out, AEW, that's for Wednesday, but that's already out. Our predictions, and we also talk about the new WWE game and all the roster. That's like 70-something playable roster wrestlers on there. So we talk about that. Check it out.
Nice. And Riku, man, I want to thank you for being on, brother. If you want to plug anything, please do.
Yeah, just @RikuSun1 on Twitter. Follow your boy.
But, you already know, man.
Thanks for allowing me to slide through the last moment. And,
yeah, man.
Good talk, man. Good talk.
Yeah, no, this was
down tonight, baby.
Yeah, throw down. No, the motherfuckers in the chat were loving this shit. So thank you guys for all that and all that shit. So yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Leave us your questions in the Throwdown Discord server, and we'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys.
Carlos Romero.
Yeah, my first online.
Did I skip you, man? Fuck.
Was Halo 2.
Oh, nice. Hey, you can see Carlos playing it again. On our Twitch. Yep. Brett Murdoch.
It's been real, people.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week.
And Brian Manjoma.
Also to add to our previous conversation, Mario plus Rabbids, new IP, sold 2 million.
Ubisoft.
That's only
we're gonna go down the rabbit hole. Wait, no, hold on. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole, whatever the rabbit hole. All right, yo, we'll see you on Thursday, man. Watch out for that Ghost of Tsushima contest, people. Later.
Deuces.
Later, guys.
Peace.